And here we go. Kevin needs 4s. Kevin on 4. Kevin saves on 4. Kevin's rolling 4s.
Look at those! Who needs rerolls with a roll like that?
Judge, the red dice are rigged.
8 players, 7 rounds, 1 winner. This is Soul Survivor, Channel 40k's single elimination tournament series. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Phil. And in our debut series, we're putting skill, strategy, and composure to the test in a single elimination bracket. Many players will enter, but only one will be victorious.
So game 1, we have a classic Order versus Chaos pairing, Space Marines versus the World Eaters.
Commanding the Iron Hand Space Marine is Brad, a longtime competitive wargamer hoping to bring his tactical knowledge to lead his Codex-compliant Marines to victory.
I really enjoy the challenge of stepping onto a point and being like, can you shift me?
Our World Eater General today is Kevin, a master painter who likes to charge first and ask questions later.
I love an army that moves fast, hits hard. If I mess up, it's still fun.
I have not played against World Eaters since their Codex has launched, so this is going to be a discovery process.
In Soul Survivor, we're playing every mission on GW Layout 1. Our first mission is going to be Take and Hold. You can hold up to 3 objectives for 5 points each for a maximum of 15 points per turn. Our deployment is going to be Tipping Point. You can't play a more classic 10th edition mission than that.
No, not at all. So the question becomes, can the Hammer of AVVERNII beat down this Berserker Warband onslaught?
Let's find out and see who's going to move on to become our Soul Survivor.
All right, the armies are already on the table. Let's see who goes first.
4 to 4. Oh, tie.
I like ties. I know that means nothing, but it always makes me think it's going to be a close game.
It's a 1.
All right, I'm going first.
Here we go. Final scout moves before turn 1 officially begins.
World Eaters are going first. World Eaters always want to go first. They want to get it going. They move fast. They want to go fast.
All right, Kevin's first scout move is a pair of Chaos Spawn moving up into cover. It's a perfect time to take a look at Kevin's deployment in his army list, huh?
So Kevin is running something he calls his pinball berserk list. He's really leaning heavily into what Hellbrutes can uniquely do. All right, here comes some spawn. They're scouting up onto the middle objective there. Kevin's third Hellbrute is starting off the table. And also in reserve, he has an Exalted 8-bound unit that's led by the Slaughterbound with the Berserker Glaive. That unit can just rip these Redemptors right off the table. He's got some 8-bound scouting now up towards the Goremonger unit that infiltrated. He's got 2 squads of 8-bound in his list. They are really good anti-elite. Kevin also has some fire support from the Forge Fiend sitting on his home. He's also got some Jackals that he's going to screen out the back with against Sticky. He's got a Demon Prince that's going to get blown up if it stands by his infantry. And inside the Rhino, the party bus he calls it, is Khârn and the boys. This is probably my favorite unit in his whole army. It is 10 Berserkers led by Khârn, and they hit like a freight train.
All right, Kevin wraps up his scout, and we're on to Brad, who's going to start with his Incursors, moving into that ruin.
Brad's list kind of is the 2x2 list. He's got 2 squads of Incursors, he has 2 Ballistus Dreadnoughts that have long-range shooting, and 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts that have long-range shooting and some decent close combat. Rounding out his list, he's got Ironfather Feirros handing out buffs, and Intercessors just screening out his back line and stickying his home. In reserves, Brad has 6 Eradicators and 6 Inceptors, a bunch of Gravis Marines that are going to come in and start blasting. And lastly, scouting up into the Chevron, we have the Hammer of AVVERNII's Anvil, the 10-man assault Terminator squad led by Caanok Var and an Ancient. Caanok Var makes that unit hit really, really hard, and the Ancient makes the models resurrect over and over again. So it is deadly and nigh invincible. This is a super strong deployment by Brad. Terrifying.
I will back up and inch off this wall.
Okay, and Brad's last scout is backing up off the wall.
Yeah, it's just like a nice, easy move. The way that the US Open kind of rules that is that if you stand 1 off the wall, there's just not enough room for you to get in there and attack. Make that unit have to come around and get you.
Okay, here we go. Official start. Round 1 has begun. Kevin needs to roll for his special abilities.
Yeah, this is his Blessings of Khorne. This is Kevin's army rule. Based on the numbers that show up on these dice, he gets to pick buffs for his whole entire army. So he got a pair of 1 and a pair of 2s. He actually really only has 2 options. He takes reroll charges and 6-inch pylon and consolidate. Maybe it would have been nice to get a damage boost, but he just didn't roll it.
All right, with that, we move on to the command phase and we draw secondaries.
All right.
Nice. No prisoners and overwhelming force. Those are like really good cards for World Eaters because they want to kill, maim, and burn. But in turn 1, there aren't great targets for that. No prisoners is kill any unit at all. And overwhelming force is points for killing something on objective. But there's nothing on objectives right now.
There's just the one. There's the Redemptor. tucked
Yeah,
up on the
that's
helm.
true.
There's probably no way to get to it.
Not with something that can kill the Redemptor in turn 1.
All right, blessings have been blessed. Cards have been drawn. Command phase, I guess, is nothing. We're just moving on to movement. The game is afoot. All right.
Moving some spawn up onto Brazen actual expansion.
Okay, so these spawn have like a 10-inch move. That's double of the Terminators, actually.
Doing some pre-measures here, trying to see, is he going to go to the Terminators, go to the Incursors?
And Kevin will advance these guys.
Super fast.
Ooh, an advance of 1.
It doesn't really matter for these guys, though, right? Because they can advance and charge.
They can advance a charge. I think the only thing that mattered is him getting a 1. If I was him, I'd want a little bit of a higher roll to try to hit those Incursors behind the wall.
Okay, advancing with the other spawn. 2 is technically higher than 1. These guys advance, but for perspective, it's the start of turn 1, and these guys are already like 20 inches from where they started.
Okay, they're moving up, getting closer to the Terminators. I'm not quite sure where he wants to go with those guys yet.
There's no way he's going to send that into the Redemptor, right?
I wouldn't.
All right, here come the 8-bound.
Yeah, these are the 8-bound, moving 10 inches across the table.
Yeah, these guys are pretty cool. They're strong on their own, but they have that aura that gives friendly units a boost to attacks. So, I mean, if he's going to send those spawn into the Terminators, he could still help whether the 8-bound join or not.
I think he maybe wants to make moves on these Terminators, start to kind of put some damage on them. All right, moving up the Rhino into the Chevron.
Party bus, bringing the party.
Yeah, party time.
Yeah, but I guess they look like they're keeping the party inside the bus for now.
And yeah, you called it right at the beginning. So he is consolidating into that Chevron, bunching up, and that makes me assume he's going to bring the Demon Prince up as well, get all sorts of extra buffs.
Oh, and this Demon Prince is not the with wings version. It's just the stronger base Prince I've seen.
Yeah, there he goes.
That is a great model.
Yeah, it's very cool.
The paint job he has on all of these is fantastic.
That model that he's using for Demon Prince is crazy old. I have that model too, but he makes it look good. Mine's very ugly.
And now he's got the party bus, 8-bound Hellbrute, Demon Prince, and those Goremongers all kind of staged up for something. Meanwhile, here's that Hellbrute. You were curious about why he placed it there?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks to me like he's placing it on the edge of 2, so he will now control that. And this is one of those weird rules where that guy, if he does get nuked, he stickies that objective.
Right. The World Eaters in Berserker Warband have a stratagem. It costs 1 CP. And when you die, you basically stay in control of the objective. You get sticky on death. It's really powerful for a melee army to have that so they can stage up, die against the shooting heavy armies.
Speaking of shooting, here's Kevin's shoot phase.
I don't have anything to shoot.
Good job.
On to charges.
All right, that was easy. No targets, and I mean, not really many guns either.
Typical for a World Eaters player to just not have a shooting phase.
All right, so here comes the charges. This is the question.
What is the plan? Like where is he going and why?
Correct. We're going to start with these 8-bounds into the Terminator brick.
This may come as a shock. I'm going to declare my -1 damage.
I figured.
I guess that is the plan. So Kevin needs at least a 5 on the charge, and a 6 will do it. So 8-bound will charge the giant Terminator brick. Brad spends a CP to reduce Kevin's damage, and Phil.
All right, so I see your face, and you do not look like you approve here.
No, his math is very dubious. The 8-bound into the Terminators with the potential for the -1 damage is just not going to kill enough. Let me break the math down for you.
Maths.
The 8-bound had 18 attacks. He didn't get sustained hits, but they are hitting on 2s. So we'll say he gets about 15 hits through. Then he's strength 10 versus the Terminator's T5. He'll get about 12 wounds through. And the Terminators have a 4-up invul save, which means they're going to save half of that. So statistically, he'll get 6 of those attacks all the way through. Then Brad -1s to the damage, so he'll do 6 damage total. That's a Terminator and a half. A Terminator and a half is not worth an entire 8-bound squad.
Okay, what I hear you saying is, that's a bold choice, Cotton.
Optimistic, maybe, is a nice word.
All right, I like that. Optimistic. I can go with this. All right, so he is bringing his other spawn.
Bring in the spawn. That will maybe help, at least with split fire on the clapback, to make sure that some of those 8-bound live, but...
Successful charge with a 7, by the way.
With Caanok Var, that Terminator unit hits super hard. He's going to get punished for this, I think.
And last but not least, the spawn also.
Okay, World Eaters going all in on attacking those Terminators. 2 Chaos Spawn and the 8-bound, they all succeed in their charges. With the addition of the new units, does that change your math at all?
I don't think it's going to change the math too much, even with the extra attacks from the spawn, but it's probably with the -1 damage just still not going to do enough. He could get lucky and knock down a few Terminators, but with the resurrection and with their potential clapback, I don't think that this goes in his favor.
Charges are done. Moving on to the fight phase. Kevin activates Chaos Spawn. He needs to roll for a number of attacks.
So 2d6 plus 5 each, that's going to be 18 attacks.
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s because he does get the 8-bound buff. That's nice.
That's like 67 is the average to beat here, so like 12 of 18. 13. First attack of the game, coming in just above average. All right, Spawn's weapon strength is 8 against Terminator toughness 5, so Kevin needs 3s on this roll. With 9 or more successes, Kevin's going to be punching above average this whole shot.
And
Not bad.
Ooh, look at that, 10 of 13.
Not bad. That's pretty decent.
yeah, he wishes he had dev wounds going.
Yeah, that would have been nice. He got some good 6s there.
Okay, so Terminator's base save is 2+.
The AP one might not do much, though, because Brad's going to get a 3-up save.
That is 3 wounds.
So
Failed,
go through.
failed 3? That is a Terminator left on 1 wound.
Okay, now we really see if your math holds up.
Yeah.
The 8-bound are going in.
He'd normally have like 15 attacks here,
18 attacks. He gets +1 on the charge.
and normally he'd hit on 3s.
3s to 2s because he has a buff into infantry.
All right, so you said he should get 15, and he does get 15, but
I think he made a mistake. I think he
Did he roll 2 little dice?
Yeah, he only rolled 16 dice. So
That's the classic self debuff.
okay. So he moves ahead. He needs 2s to wound. Hits 12 of 15, but I can't help thinking this would have been higher.
That's a bummer. He'll probably miss out on a damage point because of that.
Okay, so Brad needs 4 or betters on these saves.
That was a lot of 2s and 1s.
Sad. Wow. Whoa. My goodness.
That is a rough save by Brad. Lots of 2s and 1s and 3s. Oh
he
my gosh.
only saves 3 for a total of 9 damage. That's like 3 dead models so far.
It's much more than I thought, but I'm still not concerned for Brad.
yeah, I was gonna say it's not
It's not game breaking. The thing that saves Brad is this -1 damage, because every dice that goes through is only 25% of a Terminator.
He needs it because Kevin's rolling pretty well consistently.
No, hopefully he'll have all of his dice this time because he gets another 18 attack.
There you go.
Hitting on 3s is the last group of spawn.
7 misses is a little below average. So try for wounds with 11 dice.
And he's on 3, strength 8 versus 5.
And with 8 successes, Kevin's throwing like 11% above average for the hits. He needs 3s or better here, Brad does.
Hey,
That's much better. Just 1, it looks like.
He saves all but 1.
Okay, oh, well, that basically kind of hits your math right on.
I think between the going under on the 3rd spawn and going a little bit over on the 8-bound, it all kind of just worked out to be about 3 Terminators.
And now Brad does his pylon moves, and we see if Kevin's choice is worth it, or if the Iron Hands will exact too high a cost.
Yeah, he's going to probably split fire. He's going to try to take out all 3. He probably has the output to get very close to taking out all 3. I will say, though, that split fire tends to be something that can screw you over. If you decide not to just kill 1 unit outright and you try to kill 3 at once, some things just kind of live.
All right, here's the breakdown. First, remember there's like, the Terminators are down by 3 models.
So he's got 3 Terminators and Caanok Var going into the 8-bound, an Ancient and a Terminator going into one set of spawn, and 3 Terminators going into the other spawn.
Okay, it looks like we're going to start with the Ancient and a Terminator into the spawn near objective 4. Brad will have 7 attacks here. He'd normally hit on 3, but because the unit's now below full strength, they get a +1 from the Ancient. Hit on 2s. Average would be like 5 or 6 successes.
be a full hit.
Ooh, 7 of 7. That's a good start.
All hit.
So Brad needs 3s to wound now, and he gets devastating wounds on 6s.
Ooh,
No sixes.
No devs.
Nope. So 4 go through to Kevin, who now has a -2 on a save roll here.
So this will be sixes.
Ouch, Kevin needs 6s. Low odds on that.
Yeah, Spawn do not have a good save. They have a 4-up base save, so none of them. No saves.
And so that is 8.
But they do have a feel no pain, so he could scam.
Right, the Spawn have a 5-up, feel no pain here.
Oh, ooh,
Wait,
okay.
actually, isn't he supposed to slow roll though? Is that
Yeah, he did those all at once. Technically, he's supposed to slow roll it with the way the rules are written. He also might have taken a little bit more damage than he needed to because he fast rolled it. Maybe the judge will step in and remind him for the rest of the game.
Yeah, there was no stoppage, so the game goes on. So now we're on the other Spawn. All hit. So we're down 1 Spawn in the previous group. The second group.
No ones in sight.
Okay, so this will be the same as before. Brad needs 3s. 6s are devastating.
Ooh, that's some dev wounds there. At least 2.
Okay, so Brad will hand Kevin 5 regular saves and 2 devastating wounds.
The nice thing about dev wounds into Spawn, though, for Kevin, is that he does get to feel no pain those.
All right,
5, 6 ups. Let's see what he can do.
Nice.
All right.
2 saves. Not,
2. Okay.
not bad.
Beating the odds nicely there, but still 10 wounds coming in. Spawn can each take 4 wounds each, but I think he's going to make the same mistake again.
Yeah.
That's a handful of dice.
Yeah, here they come.
Looking for 5s. Feeling no
Hey.
pain.
Hey, overall, I mean, it wasn't the worst, but
Yeah, keeping his Spawn alive, that's super helpful.
All right, so our glass cannons are cracked but not broken. Spawn units still standing.
now I think we're looking down the barrel of Caanok Var and those other Terminators. Let's see if these 8-bounds survive.
The way things are looking,
Oh my gosh, this is terrifying.
If they drop, that's absolutely not worth it for just 3 Terminators down. He's gonna get one standing back up.
Right. It's just never good to lose models in your turn.
Brad will get 9 attacks from the Terminators and 5 with Caanok Var. White dice are Caanok.
You know what I have been forgetting this entire time? I have sustained.
Oh no.
Oh no, he missed out on some damage into the Spawn. Bummer.
Okay, so he had 2 6s, so each give an extra success, so 14 hits. And,
I guess it's better that he catches it now than later in the game.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Turn 1 would be a great time to remember to do that rule.
ooh, hey,
That's a lot of.
dice are being a little unfriendly today.
that's a frustrating roll. Only 8 of 14, no devastating wounds.
Unfortunately. Maybe they would have done better if he wouldn't have noticed, so.
Yeah, Brad's been sort of under on his rolls. Let's see how that plays out. All right, 5-up invulns from the 8-bound.
My luck of rolling 5s today.
Got 3 saves.
Kind of another letdown for Brad. 5 hits go through, but he needed 6 to wipe the 8-bound squad, so 1's still standing.
This is what happens when you split fire, is you try to kill 3 things and you kill none of them.
Kind of a wash. I would still say that it seems like Brad came out a little ahead in that.
Yeah, he came out ahead also because now it's Brad's turn.
Okay, there we have it. 0-0, no secondary points from Kevin.
No secondary from Kevin. Those pulls were rough. As a World Leaders player, you really want to get no prisoners and overwhelming force later in the game. It really, almost for any army, they stink to get, but World Leaders players love to kill main burns.
So Kevin is clearly trying to take out that Terminator brick because it's so scary. It makes sense.
Right.
But choices there seem to be the name of the game.
Right, we did like a breakdown of the math. I'm not so sure that it was the best as like a using this resource to kill that resource move. But what it does allow him to do is tie them up because he can up down them, but now they're tied up. So he does get something out of the commit. Like he doesn't get a unit out of it, but at least gives him some board position.
Okay, well, let's see how it pans out. Now he's got a couple targets for Brad. Let's see what Brad's draws are and get back to the game.
Sounds good.
Let's see what I get objectives-wise. I will get Cull the Horde.
I do not have a horde for you to call.
I will get no prisoners.
Oh no.
Hey! And bring it down.
Okay, dice might not have been on Brad's side so far, but these cards seem to be.
No prisoners is an excellent pull for Brad because he literally has 3 units standing right in front of him. I think it would be nigh impossible for him not to get maximum score on that card. Bring it down might be a little bit harder, but that Hellbrute on Kevin's natural expansion is not hidden.
This is what you might call a target-rich environment.
Yeah, totally a target-rich environment.
That's where into the command phase, Brad will bring back one of those Terminators.
The cool thing about when you resurrect these models is you can kind of steal a little bit of movement. You can put them wherever you want within 2 inches of them. So sometimes you can steal an objective with it. Resurrecting can be really funny in 40k.
All right, and it looks like he's putting his Oath of Moment on that Hellbrute.
Good idea.
It's definitely going to be his target.
Yeah, Brad is going for full secondary this turn.
Yeah, and he can likely get it. Oh, and what he just did was have those Marine units on his back line, those intercessors, just stick his home objective. It's still in the command phase. Brad's activating the Iron Father character to hand out a +1 to hit for that Dreadnought, and for what it's worth, this ability would also heal 3 wounds if the vehicle was hurt. So the question for me becomes whether he falls back those Terminators and uses the +1 to these closer units, or if he's going to fire on the Hellbrute.
Yeah, I think his plan probably is to not fall those Terminators back, save the -1 damage, take the hit from a single spawn, another single spawn, and a single 8-bound, maybe lose 1 or 2 Terminators again, but they just keep resurrecting, so...
40k whack-a-mole going on. Brad has finished his command phase, and as we move on to his movement phase,
he's going to advance right away. It looks like the Marines are moving a lot faster than the World Eaters for being such a fast army. That was an advance of 6.
Speedy.
And that'll put them solidly on the objective. And these are incursors with that ability, giving allies +1 to hit an enemy that they shot. So it's really nice to have assault on those guns so they can still move and shoot after this advance.
Potentially trying to get that +1 to hit buff off the incursors, but really what I'm seeing here is just sort of a screen movement block. He wants to just push them up and hold the World Eaters back.
That makes sense, especially given the distance Kevin's guys in the Chevron can cover. Oh, and I think Brad's next move is his Epic Hero. Yeah, he's going to take Iron Father Feirros, tuck him in that building. Still close enough to the Dreadnought to have loan up. Then the Dreadnought, I think, is going to shift on the terrain here, sticking close to the boss. But I think that this positioning is just clearly to take a shot at that Hellbrute.
Mm-hmm. He's got good line of sight on that Hellbrute. He's getting the buff from Iron Father Feirros. Also, the Ballistus Dreadnought gets to reroll the hit roll on units with full strength anyway.
So he's making sure that he's covering his screening in his back line.
Yeah, he doesn't want Exalted 8-bound showing up on his back door.
Certainly a mistake you make like once playing this game. And it's advancing with a screening unit back by his home, just a lowly 1 there.
He just wants a little bit more movement just to make sure those Exalted 8-bound really want to hit those Dreadnoughts, so he just needs to protect this little area here so they don't rapid ingress.
Well, Kevin's got the CP available. He's got like 3 to spend. On the plus side for Brad, the World Eaters units have like the standard 9-inch deep strike.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I think in Possessed Slaughterbound, the Exalted 8-bound can get a 6-inch deep strike or something, but that's not what we're playing today.
Okay, and here comes the Redemptor, who looks like he is also going to take a nice deep shot at that Hellbrute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad's calling it out. His Dreadnoughts are going into the Hellbrute. It's not a guaranteed kill, but with that Space Marine Oath of Moment army rule, everything that attacks the Hellbrute gets to reroll attacks. And if he kills the Hellbrute, Brad will get to use some of these shenanigans in his army.
Yeah, the detachment rule lets Caanok Var move his Oath of Moment after the unit dies. Yeah, very likely he's going to shoot the Hellbrute dead and then move the Oath of Moment for the combat phase so that all the Terminators can reroll the hit roll into the spawn.
I think we're going to go on to shooting. All right, wonderful. First thing I will do is he will just put both his shots into the Hellbrute.
All right. Here we go. Starting off with the Ballistus Las Cannon at the Hellbrute. 2 attacks, normally hitting on 3, but Iron Father get a +1 to hit, and Oath lets him re-roll if he gets any ones, so...
Rolling ones.
Which he's grateful for here.
Let's see, 1. So we'll re-roll.
Roll a 1.
Hey, they hit both hits.
Las Cannon connects.
So he's going to be on 2s. The +1 to wound off the, people call it Vanilla Oath. If you're a regular Space Marine, you get +1 to wound.
Yep.
And re-rolling 1 still.
Right.
Yep,
All right.
from his detachment roll.
Ooh, lots of
Rolling 1s.
Hey.
All right.
Not devastating, but
It might be.
All right, checking whether cover applies, by the way. This is one of my favorite things people do nowadays with the laser checking. He needs a 5, no cover applies. And this Las Cannon does D6 +1.
Gonna roll some damage.
here we go.
We'll still be alive.
5 damage, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it has 3 wounds remaining.
Yep, he's down on 3 already from the first shot out the gate.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Crack missiles looking for 2s. Still has rerolls to attack. And another 2 for 2 thanks to Oath. Then the +1 to wound from Oath has Brad still just needing 2s here. Another 1, but his detachment gives him a reroll to 1 on Oath, so oh my god.
Gosh, the vanilla Space Marines are so efficient. They're just constantly rerolling.
Needs 4s, got 1. Knocked.
Got a 5 and a 3.
One save, one fail.
Do I... How much damage are these?
D6.
I think he's gonna re-roll this. I'm not sure I would, just because there's...
He's also in range to the Demon Prince, so he doesn't act.
Oh, okay.
So Kevin gets a free stratagem reroll on the save. Oh, there we go.
Got the 4. All right, both save.
There's still the Redemptor, so I'm not sure this was totally worth it.
I could see doing it just because it's the bottom of 1 and it's free.
Yeah.
There's actually no reason not to, quite frankly.
Fair enough. Now the pressure's on for Redemptor to get 3 wounds through in order to score some points for his army. He's only in range with 1 weapon from the Redemptor, the Macroplasma, which he will overcharge.
Ooh, going hot.
Number of attacks here. Oh, only 3 attacks.
Cuts.
Kevin will take that. So Brad needs 3s, still gets rerolls here because of Oath. Let's see how.
Yeah, he just needs 1 to go through. We get all hits.
All right, all 3 hits.
This could happen for Brad. He wounds on 3s and he can reroll
Right.
1s. Ooh, 1 miss, 1 reroll here.
3s.
And he got it, but he's no longer batting 1,000 this phase.
So he's got 2 saves at -4. There's no cover, so he needs 6s.
Oh.
Not enough.
A pair of 5s is like, can I just save those for later when I need them?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here's a hazard check for the Redemptor.
We almost saw that hazard check, but it rolled over to the 3s. Fine.
Do I blow up?
And no explosion from the Hellbrute.
Okay, so with that, Brad is on the board first with points from the Bring It Down secondary. Kevin will spend a command point. He's that stratagem we talked about earlier where you can sticky on death. So, I guess there's some silver lining.
Silver lining, yes, that he gets to still hold the objective, but to lose a Hellbrute after it does nothing is not ideal.
Yeah, totally. Now here's Brad's really killer shenanigan where he can shift that Oath target. And he's targeting the spawn near objective 4.
Yeah, he probably, the way that he's based up, maybe there's not as many guys touching that other spawn, so he probably wants the buff to just make sure it dies.
With that, Brad moves into the charge phase. His Terminator's already engaged. I'm curious what he charges.
Oh, hell yes. He's rolling the Redemptor into that lone spawn, which is pretty cool. It gives him some free movement here to get up on the objective.
Hey now, there we go. Boxcars.
We made it, everyone.
Brad's got all the choice for where to land now. Looks like he's opting to just stomp straight ahead into the Chaos spawn.
So, we'll start with the Redemptor.
So he's going to fights first here with the Redemptor, hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of the new Oath target, which is pretty good because he missed a lot.
And he continues that trend.
That Oath has come in handy.
On 3s. Okay, there you go.
Get it all.
Oh man, Oath of Moment is working hard so far today. Wound roll target is now
2s.
Right, 2s.
And reroll 1s?
Man, this is crazy. Since the start of Brad's turn, without rerolls, he's throwing 46%, but with, he's at over 95%.
It's brutal. All right, so that's 5.
Yeah, continuing the pain train. Not much hope for the spawn here.
AP2 puts him on a 6. 1 save?
So 5 hits go through. These are 3 damage per hit. Spawn will get his Feel No Pain, needs 5s.
Looking for 5.
Down to 2 wounds. He's slow rolling to Feel No Pain here.
Long odds on survival.
And it's dead.
Surprise, surprise. So by wiping out that Chaos spawn, Brad scores 2 points on his No Prisoners secondary. Great use of Oath of Moment. Which thankfully he can't move this turn again, right?
I don't think I hope
be
not.
insane.
I sure as hell hope not.
Okay, so Brad's consolidating with his Redemptor, moving on to objective 4 before we head into ongoing combat.
Yeah, Kevin gets to activate first, activating the 8-pound. It'll get the most value. If he doesn't, he has to do it this way. He's going to be on 2s.
And Brad's no longer -1 damage anymore, so that's good for Kevin.
Not 2s.
Hey.
Does not have sustained.
Yeah.
It's always sad to see those 6s when you could have a rule, but it just isn't active.
Kevin's looking for 3s here to wound.
And you're not at half strength, so I'm not toggle. All right, only dropped 1.
Ooh, 4 out of 5.
Pretty good.
Potentially 8 damage, 2 dead Terminators. Not bad for just 1 guy left here.
That's what's cool about World Eaters is they don't need that many guys to do a lot of damage.
That was kind of feast or famine there. Save 2, drop 2.
A single dead Terminator outright.
I am going to re-roll one of these.
Okay, Brad's using his CP reroll here.
That's interesting, but I see it. Yeah, there you go. Well, now he doesn't get to lose a Terminator.
Okay, seems worth it. The brick wall's just barely chipped away. Brad still has 8 Terminators standing plus both characters. Now he's piling in, and
I get the feeling he's looking to score some more of those no prisoners. Does it max at 3 units?
It maxes at 3 units. You get 2 for the first one, 2 for the second one, and 1 for the third one.
Okay, so he's got 2 chances. He's already up to 2.
let's see if this split fire is going to pay off. I mean, it should, right?
If he splits fire here and doesn't kill both of those units mega dead, then Brad is having the worst day of his life.
Yeah, I was going to say this. No, the numbers are ever in his favor.
Yeah.
At least they're now in his favor.
Yeah.
So Brad's going to send 5 of his 8 regular Terminators into the spawn, and the other 3 plus the characters will try to end the last 8 bounds. Looks like we're starting with the spawn, so 5 guys, 3 attacks each, looking for 2s.
6s explode, remembering his sustain this time.
Okay, and he no longer has his oath benefit right now.
Yeah, oath is gone.
Hey, there's the beauty of sustained hits. Lose some, gain some. So 15 hits connect. He needs 3s to wound.
And 6s are devs.
Oof, just below average.
All right.
Number of devs, but I also see a number of
There's a number of misses.
fails.
Only 9 to 15. Before those are devastating, so can Kevin get lucky and save 5?
5 6-ups on spawn. They have a very bad save.
The 6s.
Nothing.
Ooh, that was...
You know, I have a feeling.
that was meant to be. That was... The dice were just tired.
Yeah, they're just saying, no, no.
I don't even know that it's worth doing this.
For 5s. He is dead.
Hit it.
Yeah, mega dead.
Well, Brad scores another 2 points on no prisoners. Just this last 8 bound to go, attacking with 2 characters and 3 assault Terminators. They'll probably paste this last unit. So white dice are for the ancient Caanok Var, the blue dice are for the normal Terminators here. Ouch, more sustained. That's got to be top of mind for Brad right now.
Yeah, so when you forget a rule like that, it's hard to forget it again for the rest of the game because it hurts to forget.
Ooh. Oh man, know what else hurts?
I believe he has died.
He has died.
Terrible, terrible death.
Yeah, just hella dev wounds into that 8 bound. It is just sent straight to Khorne.
Those Terminators are as scary as I was thinking they were going to be.
And that will take us out of round 1 with Brad's Iron Hand Marines leading Kevin and his World Leaders by 9.
So the secondary game was the most interesting thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck happening in this game in general, but particularly with secondary pulls, Kevin got some pretty bad ones, and Brad was able to combo his no prisoners with the Bring It Down and get both of those to score off of just the Hellbrute kill. And when the Hellbrute died, though, Kevin gets to stay in the primary game by sticking on death. So not a total loss for him, but kind of a big scoring turn for Brad.
Cool. Let's see what the guys thought about that.
I don't feel bad where I'm at, but it would feel a little bit better if I had a little bit more board.
I think the nails were biting a little bit, and that block of Terminators is really scary.
These Terminators will be the lifeblood of this list. If I lose these Terminators, I lose the game.
I lost a lot, but it's the bodies that I can lose.
So I'm a little concerned that I'm about to take quite the hammering from a Berserker and potentially 8 bound.
I think if I do Khârn and the Berzerks, carve them up a little bit and keep them stuck.
It's going to be interesting to try to stop his primary scoring. I'm not very fast, and he's going to just keep hammering me turn after turn.
I think I can bring one of the Hellbrutes and start the ping pong.
So we'll just have to do our best.
All right, here we are. Top of round 2. It is Kevin's go. I think he's starting with his Blessings roll.
Yeah, he wants to get better results this time. He kind of got like the worst roll last time.
Yeah.
I kind of have the choice of the litter. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go with sustains on melee attacks and my 6-inch consolidate.
Sustain 6, that's pretty good. He's going to want to kind of go in and do a lot of damage this turn, so Sustain's going to help him, and the 6-inch is going to help him really connect.
Okay, command phase officially underway. Both gain CP. Kevin is at 3. And here's the draw, Display of Might.
Display of Might is good. He just has to have more units in the middle of the board than Brad, and Brad hasn't pushed out too far yet, so he should probably just get it right away.
Yeah, World Leaders definitely have more forces out there. There's an advantage to having smaller units, but more of them, I guess.
I'm a big fan of that multiple small unit MSU style play. Lets you kind of be in a lot of places at once.
So to round out his command phase, no battle shocks. He is sticking on his home objective, and now we start actually scoring primary here.
Kevin holds 2 objectives. He's going to score 5 for each for 10.
And with that, it is time to move.
Ooh, here we go.
We're going to go ahead and advance the Jackals.
Advance on the Jackals. Here's the roll.
3.
Oh, he's just screening. Nice. He's got to keep an eye out for that 6-inch deep strike from the Inceptors. He doesn't want that giant unit just kind of dropping behind him and lighting up that Forge Fiend.
Right. That's such a cool advantage for that unit, like the whole 6-inch deep strike thing, especially because there are only like 6 guys in the squad that wouldn't really take up that much space when landing. So forcing Kevin to account for a good amount of extra board with his screening guys. Like here, we could see the kind of space he'd normally keep in mind with any other standard deep strike, but he's got to cover over 30% more of the board back there.
Just as a reminder, the Inceptors are a 6-inch deep strike.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Don't want that to be a shock.
Oh, good. We got a reminder from Brad. We love the sportsmanship that we see in this game, where people are constantly reminding people of their rules. They don't want to ever like not have the information to make a decision. We want to see who's the best player when everybody has the same information.
Right. And here come the Goremongers pushing forward, practically touching Brad's deployment zone. No advance, it seems. Maybe they're setting up for like a lance charge. These guys also actually have pistols, so at least some pew-pew there. And now the Demon Prince stomping out onto the objective. He's got actual range threat.
The Demon Prince within 3, so he's still going to have loan up because he's within 3 inch of those 8-bound.
Right. So he's not really targetable right now.
He looks like he's out in the open, but he's not.
Oh, and here come Khârn. Khârn and his Berzerkers are finally piling out of the party bus.
Here we go. This is my personal favorite unit in World Eaters. It's just so iconic. The Berzerkers led by Khârn. And also, they do a lot of damage. They are scary.
Okay, no advance on them.
Okay.
They do have some ranged weaponry.
Yeah, I think he's got like a handful of plasma pistols, a couple bolt pistols. Maybe he wants to throw a grenade. That maybe would be a reason why he wouldn't want to advance. Alternatively, he could just be banking CP for -1 damage or combat interrupt.
Positioning Berzerkers on center objective, but this one's likely to stage an assault on the Terminators.
Kevin should be able to do some hurt to these Terminators. With the mass 1 damage, the -1 damage that Brad has access to is just not as helpful here.
Rhino advance. 6?
6.
Okay.
Probably just trying to screen, I would think, with this Rhino.
That makes sense. Back it up onto that
Yeah,
line. Make sure
because
it
like
comes
it's
in.
a little bit useless other than just kind of scoring and screening right now. It delivered the boys already. The party has left the bus.
that will go by that. It's got a little bit of shooty, but not enough to do anything meaningful.
You'd be surprised how many elves I've killed with the rapid fire coming out of those combi bolters, though. It's kind of a lot of DACA.
And here I'm going to complain. As a person who has not been a lifelong player, who's played a long time ago and came back into it, the turning rules
Oh, sure, pivot.
I dislike so severely.
It is a polarizing rule for sure. It also wasn't even in all of the edition. They kind of stapled it on to stop people from breaking all of our nice things.
Which makes it, that's kind of the way it goes. Okay, here comes one of the Hell Brutes moving on up.
He's angry about his friend dying.
Oh, and here comes the other one in from reserve.
Pretty sure that one's Eddie, right? Is that Ed, and Eddie?
Ed, and Eddie. We lost one of the Eds already. This dude is the replacement.
Kevin has it equipped with 2 melee weapons, the Hellbrute Fist and the Hellbrute Hammer. Kind of gives him some options if he's going into vehicles or elites. And it's also equipped with a heavy flamer so that he can flame down some units and have some option for frenzy during the shoot phase.
And it looks like Kevin will bring it in near his home in the center.
This is kind of an interesting play. He can still do his 9-inch charge from behind that terrain feature, so even if he fails, he's still kind of hidden, and Brad's going to have to push out to see him.
That is my movement phase. Would you like to ingress at all?
Ooh, Brad could come in here.
I think I have to save it.
Okay. So he's saving his money.
So no rapid ingress. Now we move into Kevin's shoot phase, and this is confusing to me. We're gonna have a shooting phase. The World Eaters haven't done anything.
Yeah, nothing to come out of the Goremongers for sure.
Okay, so he's throwing a grenade.
So a Chica grenade is good. He could knock a Terminator out right now.
Looking for 4s to inflict mortals, 3 of them. So that'll kill a Terminator and leave another on 2 wounds. Terminator break down to 7 models plus the 2 characters, so 9 of 12. And now Kevin's going to call up the Berzerkers to shoot at the Terminators, starting with Khârn's plasma. No overcharge on this. That's a hit.
Yeah, he doesn't want Khârn to take any damage before he fights.
And the hit will wound. Brad normally saves on 2, but will be saving on a 3 here because of maths.
All right.
Successful save. Khârn does nothing. The plasma shot harmlessly winging off a Terminator. Meanwhile, let's see if this Berserker plasma pistols fare any better. Hitting on 4s.
Not very good at this.
Berserker's not known for their shooting.
That's why. One hit. The whole army can't shoot.
Yeah, literally World Leaders not known for their shooting.
Brad saves on a 2. Fail.
Oh!
Yeah, chipping away. 1 damage leaves that wounded Terminator with just 1 health left. So shooting wasn't awful, but now the World Leaders are back in their comfort zone into the charge phase.
Start with the easy one. I'm gonna charge the Berserkers.
So it begins. What we've been waiting for. Berserkers into Terminators. They need 4.
You got a 5.
5. Is that enough for the whole squad?
Yeah, with 6-inch piling consolidate, he will be able to get everybody in.
Right.
5 might have been a little bit low.
Well, he's in, so now we get to see what the hype is all about.
Kevin's going to be throwing almost 60 attacks here. He's got 40 attacks coming from just the chain swords alone that are strength 6, AP 1, damage 1. Then he's got 8 eviscerator attacks, which are strength 10. And then he's got Khârn, who's going to be throwing 9 attacks that are strength 9, AP 2, damage 3.
So all the dice.
I'm curious where these Goremongers are going to go. I know he has some Incursors 1 off the wall, but I bet he could get in there with a decent charge.
And now the Goremongers will charge.
Where's he going? Into the Redemptor?
Redemptor.
That is...
Okay.
That is a choice. Sure.
All right, he needs a 6. Which, a 6 is like the same distance to the Incursors, right?
I mean, they're right there.
Yeah, they're literally... I'm like, we can see them. I don't know about this.
All right, Goremongers successfully charge into the Redemptor there. You know, it's like looking at the overhead. They're just not evident, maybe? This is like an out-of-sight, out-of-mind thing? Or
It's part of the gameplay, too.
Yeah, he might have just forgot. Sometimes that can be challenging to kind of... There's so much information to keep in your head in this game.
The Hail Mary. Head into the Incursors there, looking for a 9.
Ah, okay.
This play I do like.
5 is not enough, so he'll spend a CP to re-roll.
He's re-rolling it. The odds of this... Nope.
That is okay.
Heart.
Okay, so no charge there.
The odds of it, are, even with the reroll, are less than 50%, so it's really unlikely. Because he's hidden, I don't hate that play. Normally, I would poo-poo someone for trying to roll a 9-inch charge out of Deep Strike, but it's like fine.
Okay, Brad's using his Haywire Mine now. This goes off successfully. This is coming from the guys Kevin just ignored, by the way.
So he's the Haywire Mine. The guy who's holding it is within 3 inches of the Goremonger, so at the start of any phase, he can set off that roll.
2 wounds on a D3, so 2 dead Goremongers.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the idea of tying up the Redemptor for a turn, like versus wiping an infantry unit, but like, I really hope this isn't something that he regrets later.
Yeah.
Okay, fight phase begins with the Berserkers piling in on the Terminators.
I'm going to Armor of Contempt.
I figured.
Yep.
All right, the Armor Contempt. I predicted this as well. I'm curious here. I feel like what Kevin should have done, he has a stratagem to boost his AP by 1. He probably should have done that to try to negate this Armor of Contempt reduction.
Right. He said he figured. Has he maybe used it already? And no, he hasn't
not
used
this
it. It's the
phase,
start of
no.
the turn.
Re-rolling 1s.
No, this is the
That's
first,
not a bad
first
roll right there.
activation.
Okay, no rerolls, no sustain. 9 hits connect in this first flurry from Khârn. It's just him right now with his Gore Child weapon.
And on the 2, re-rolling 1s.
Gore Child. That should be the title of my next movie. Like horror/romantic comedy.
Ooh, I should call Blockbuster and see if they have that.
My grandma will be so proud. 7 wounds go through. Brad needs 3s to save. And saves all but 1.
Oh, that's brutal. Khârn hits really hard, and to just see it bounce like that is gonna be, that's devastating.
And that one Terminator, he's going to stand back up.
Right. Ugh.
Still on Berserkers, this time 2 Eviscerators hitting on 3s.
All right, 1 sustained.
Okay, and all but 1 hit.
Gets to reroll the 1 into a 1.
Okay, well.
The classic reroll 1 into a 1.
It was meant to be.
So Kevin's rolling 8 dice, looking for 2s to punch through and wound.
Re-rolling 1s as well.
Hey, another to reroll. All 8 go through. And there's still more attacks from the squad, by the way.
All right, so 3s from Brad.
For 3s again.
Okay.
Seems
And these are 2 damage apiece.
Wow, I get only 1 wound here.
These are the Eviscerators. These are the long 2-handed axes.
Right, stronger and harder than the chain blades. That is not morale building,
As one might say.
This is not the output he needs out of these Berserkers. He's about to throw a ton of dice for these chain swords, though.
Oh, he can barely hold them.
Oh my
Roll
gosh.
all the dice here. This is what Warhammer is about for me, is just seeing all of the dice roll and the cool models, you know.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the hit results till after the rerolls here.
Dropping that 1 and that 2.
Okay, so 31 dice rolling to wound. He'll hit on 3s, get to reroll 1s with a truckload of dice.
Forks all over again.
Just fistful of dice.
Looks good.
I like that phrase, a fistful of dice.
You need a fistful of dice and a fistful of dollars to play this game.
Yes, several fistful of dollars.
And speaking of big dollars, big shout out to our sponsors for all their support.
Yeah, and we're getting some help from Geeky Teas and Games. It's my personal local game store here in LA. It's located in Burbank. They have Warhammer, they have D&D, they have everything you need for tabletop gaming. It is so cool.
So if you're ever out in Los Angeles, have a chance to come check them out as we check back in with the dice counting. And
27 is what he's got to save. He's looking, only needs 2, so he's dropped 2.
Here's 10 of them. For 2s.
saved 8 of those 10, so 2 wounds.
Yep. 10 again. Yep.
Another 8 saves, so 2 more damage, bringing the total to 4. So 1 Terminator goes down to the Berserker Chain Blades, just 1 more batch of saves left.
The last 7.
Nothing. So what was that, 4 total? Oh,
So he's lost 2 total Terminators.
and one's gonna come back.
Fire activation.
Oh,
Wow.
I am sorry that happened, Kevin. Oh my gosh.
Insane. This one, maybe his luck will change, but he's going to the Redemptor.
He's going into the Redemptor. Is not the ideal target. He does have Lance on the chart, so he will be +1 to wound, but it's not going to be enough to. A Redemptor is very tanky. I think this is bad
Do
allocation.
you think maybe Kevin's just trying to keep that big gun tied up?
Oh, that, you know what? Maybe he is just trying to say hold.
Another fistful of dice hitting on 4s with sustain.
That's valid.
So if he's going to bring his Forge Fiend out next,
And that Redemptor's stuck in, the Redemptor can't respond.
That's true, and Brad doesn't have fallback and act. This could just be like a jail play.
Kevin needs 5s to wounds, and we get 5 of 21 hits going through. It seems like the amount of dice they're rolling, it could have put that into that infantry unit.
42 ups.
He takes a wound.
1 damage. That's a lot of dice for 1 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Kevin's fight phase has completed, and now,
A little bit of slapback from Brad.
yeah,
Here we go. Brad's first activation will be into the Redemptor from the Goremongers.
5 attacks on 3s. He's a little better up close than his Ballistus friend.
Yeah, so they both shoot pretty hard from far, but the Redemptor's the one that actually can punch.
The Redemptor needs 3s. 3 hits land.
This is strength 12. So
You are definitely wounding on 2s.
And 1, 2, 3 wounds.
Minus 2 AP, not
Yeah.
even gonna.
No save allowed. So 3 are just roasted.
I just imagine those guys turn into pink mist.
yeah, absolutely.
Now here we go. 5 Terminators plus both characters.
Can those Berzerkers stand up to the punchback?
Berserkers.
That's a lot of dice.
You'd think someone in power armor would be resilient, but Berserkers are sort of glass cannons. Once they hit you, they're kind of dead.
25 hits, all anxious to become wounds, 2s needed. You know, it's hard for me to picture Marines as glass cannons, though.
Space Marine power armor is not as durable on the tabletop as it is in the novels. There are so many weapons and guns that just shred Space Marines to bits in this game.
21 wounds, 3 of which are devs.
Oh,
So
as a World Eaters player, this is hard to watch.
Kevin needs 5s to save.
This interaction right here, to spend. Oof.
that's 9.
Ooh, okay. I thought they would have lived.
So to be clear, Brad's Terminators just put 21 wounds onto the Berserkers. Kevin's first chunk of saves killed all but one of his unit and Khârn, but he has 11 saves yet to make.
Hey, what a hero.
Rolling one at a time, just one fail will kill the last Berserker.
That's a save.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
All right. All right, lone hero.
And again, 3 in a row.
Now it's getting interesting.
Yeah, this, come on, hang in there.
Please don't do this.
Oh, his luck ran out.
Oh, that would have been awesome. He had 3 in a row, almost got it.
And maybe there's hope for Khârn here. We have 7 saves left. He needs 4s. He's got 5 wounds left. Each of these hits are 2 damage apiece. And Khârn goes down, 4 fails. Oh, he charged in and traded his entire Berserker unit for 2 down Terminators.
That is a gut punch.
Please don't.
Khârn's special ability activates and he gets to stand back up.
up.
That's true.
But that's not.
He's not in the great position to want to stand back up right now because the only things that can see Khârn right now are Brad's army.
Yeah. I want to say, like, if you look up glass cannon in the dictionary, you see this picture right here of what just happened.
That is hard. It is really hard when you're the active player for Kevin to be picking up your own models when it's your turn. It's never good.
Okay, so Khârn is back on the board with 3 wounds, just outside of engagement range of the Terminators. And we close out Kevin's turn 2. He will at least score a Display of Might.
He does score 4 for Display of Might. At the end of Kevin's second turn, it is Kevin 14, Brad 9.
That wraps up Kevin's second turn, mid-battle round, heading to the bottom. Poor Khârn.
Poor Khârn. It's a rough go. To send your 10-man Berserker Squad and Khârn into a Terminator Squad and lose more of your models than you kill of the opponent, it's pretty rough. But I do like where they're positioned still primary-wise. The Demon Prince is holding it down. The Forge Fiend's got his home. So they're still neck and neck here.
Command points each notch up, so Brad is at 1, Kevin's now at 2.
I will bring back friend.
Here comes one of those Terminators standing back up. So in total, 1 Terminator went down since the last turn in exchange for an entire Berserker squad. Meanwhile, as we enter the command phase, Brad is looking for new secondaries.
Ooh, assassinate. Well, Khârn is right there.
Hello, Khârn. Hello. And I have establishing a loci.
Establishing locus is fine. He's got his incursors there.
Right. So for assassinate, Brad needs to kill a character, and Khârn is easy pickings. Then for establish locus, he needs a unit close to center or in Kevin's deployment zone to do an action. Moving right along, the Ballistus will get its benefit from Iron Father Feirros, or Feirros? What is it?
It's whatever you want.
We'll see what YouTube says. We'll also see how primary scoring goes.
Brad holds 2 objectives, 5 each for 10 points.
In related news, Brad's selecting his oath target, Demon Prince.
Uh-oh.
I'm guessing that means we're going to see some action down on objective 2 this turn. We are officially shifting into Brad's movement phase. And it looks like he's going to start with an advance. Yep, these incursors are going to come out to play.
Incursors coming out.
Womp womp. Big advance of 1.
They have assault, so he's probably just trying to push back the rapid ingress, screen a little bit, and just push out to get line of sight to get that +1 to hit buff.
So if Brad is moving up and plans on shooting the Hellbrute there, will the Hellbrute's ping pong ability still activate?
It does activate Frenzy.
It does?
So if Kevin has a gun equipped on it, if you shoot it, it can shoot.
Damn.
You know what? I'm gonna Overwatch.
Oh, he's overwatching.
What? What do you got?
I think
One
he's
flavor?
got a 1 flamer Overwatch. Honestly, I'm a sucker for Overwatch, so I'm so in for this.
I mean, 5 shots is good.
Right, so on 3s.
I think he's gonna kill a single incursor. This is probably a bad spend.
Probably, but they're all 5 wounds right now, so Brad needs 4s to save. 2 saves, 3 damage.
He killed 1.5.
You called it. So not worth it to you?
I don't think that's gonna stop Brad from pushing back the rapid ingress. He's gonna be able to get the buff still. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, clearly Kevin doesn't mind taking those risks and leaning on luck. Now, meanwhile, Brad is moving his Redemptor Dreadnought straight toward the Hellbrute. And the problem is that I just really don't understand the ping pong rules well enough, personally, but I feel like they're walking toward that guy, and he's going to do some shenanigans.
It's dubious, because the Redemptor Fist is actually a pretty good weapon to put into the Hellbrute. He could put the Hellbrute in the dirt immediately, and then maybe stop the ping pong here and right there.
The next Brad follows up with the Ballistus, shifting slightly in the ruins footprint. Advancing with those incursors now. These are the ones that Kevin ignored in favor of going after the Redemptor. 6.
Ooh, speedy.
Looks like heading straight toward objective 2 and that Demon Prince inside.
Yeah, so he'll be within the 12. They'll be able to hand out that +1 to hit buff.
Oh, let's not forget about reserves that Brad still has.
I'm worried here that Kevin did not screen out these Eradicators from coming in. And I anticipate that what Brad's going to do is he's going to set up these incursors, make the Eradicators +1 to hit into that Demon Prince, and then the Eradicators just get rid of them.
Right.
And what I'm seeing Brad do is what I see a lot of experienced players do constantly, and that's take up maximum real estate with this squad. They're stretching all the way to the middle, maybe threatening there too.
And also, when you're playing into World Eaters can't fly. So if you make a big conga line like that, they got to go through you to get into the rest of his line. So those Incursors, they're going to buff and say,
Hold the lane, boyos. I don't know what kind of accent that was. That's what their accent is. Anyway, Dreadnought moves straight ahead forward. Probably not within range of that Demon Prince, though.
Yeah, that Ballistus is going to not be within the 12-inch for long.
You called it. Look,
yep, there they are. Yep, so we put the Rhino back to screen, but...
Big old gap back there for Brad to drop in behind the Demon Prince. That's 6-inch deep strike getting these plasmas in comfortably.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Eradicators. These are Inceptors. This is also just as good. These guys can drop 6. I would think maybe the Eradicators have a better chance of killing that Demon Prince because they just have so many rerolls. But with twin linked on those weapons with the Inceptors, he could have a shot. The one saving grace that Kevin has is that the Demon Prince has a 4-up invuln.
Here are the Eradicators.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, he's dropping them, so they're a little safer. You think the Inceptor? These are Inceptors?
Yeah.
I almost said incestors. Anyway, so you think that these guys and the Eradicators were flipped, or this is the right placement?
He is bringing the Eradicators exactly where I thought. Okay. This makes sense. Oh, mate, the Inceptors just might be insurance.
Okay, he just waited.
Yep.
He just was waiting for Kevin to kind of leave this open.
Yeah.
And bam, going all in.
Yeah, Brad is putting it all on the line here.
Wow, turn 2.
Yeah.
It's on.
I find a lot of times that things just start getting hot and heavy in turn 2 when you're playing into World Eaters. There's something in the air when you go into a World Eaters player. It starts the game immediately.
I'll be...
You know what? I will be rapid ingressing.
It's a tit for tat here. Rapid ingress.
Oh, I see. Okay. Not a bad idea. So here's Slaughterbound with the Exalted 8-bound.
This feels like a good counter move.
Right, and the Slaughterbound has the Berserker Glaive, which is going to give him +1 attack, +1 damage. The Exalted 8-bound are almost like the other 8-bound where they have the 10-inch move. They have 1 less attack, but typically you'd want to hit Exalted 8-bound and a Slaughterbound into like a vehicle or a monster unit.
Okay.
But the pressure is on so much that when you have AP3 weapons like the Exalted 8-bound do, going into a Space Marine is sometimes just as good.
So Kevin's tucked his Exalted right here behind the footprint out of sight of Brad's dudes, but it seems like no matter what happens, it's going to be a bad day for these jumpy pack guys at the end of the day, the Inceptors, right? How do they have 2 wounds each?
They're 3 wounds. They're Gravis armor. So we've got 2 squads of Gravis armor right there. We have the Eradicators and the Inceptors. All Gravis armor is T6, 3 wounds each. So it's like a Space Marine, but like chunkier.
Okay.
But the thing about Gravis armor that's not like Terminator armor is there's no invulnerable save. So him bringing in those Exalted 8-bound right there is actually huge because they have AP3. So AP3 is perfect into things that don't have invulnerable save because if you take a Space Marine 3-up save and then you tack 3 AP onto it, that's a 6-up save. Good luck, buddy.
Well, let's see how things go as we enter Brad's shooting phase. And up first will be his Redemptor, taking advantage of my favorite rule name in the entire game, Big Guns Never Tire.
Big Guns Never Tire. It's a sweet rule. It allows these vehicles to still shoot their guns when they're engaged. If they are shooting a blast weapon, they can't shoot what's at their feet, but they could shoot anything else at the table, and the only thing they have to do is have -1 to their hit roll.
I think if I ever started a country music band, I'd call it Big Guns Never Tire. Oh, man, all misses. Based on last term, I was assuming these Goremongers were just going to get deleted, but big whiff here. Redemptor isn't done shooting, though. Next weapon rolls a d3 for number of attacks. 2 shots will hit on 4.
Oh, these poor Goremongers.
I don't know. Look at that. Just 1 hit.
They held the line. They held that Redemptor in spot. That Redemptor has not moved.
Wounding on 2s. Nothing, no!
And then combat it may be.
Amazing.
And the Goremongers are still standing. Like, too fast for the Redemptor, I guess. So we move on. Brad's Incursors are going to put a Haywire Mine into Hellbrute Ed or Eddie, whichever one it was.
On roll a 1.
Please don't.
Yes!
Oh, you did
Brad.
2 up for that Haywire Mine. That's so funny.
So far, RN Jesus is not with Brad right now.
Not right now. Yeah, it would have been great. I think he gets 2d3 instead of 1d3 because it's a vehicle.
Turn's not going incredible right now, but we will persist. We are fine. Everything's fine.
I like that. Brad's trying to keep positive as he calls up his Ballistus to try and end Khârn the Betrayer.
I would say I would pick him up, but the way that you rolled over there, I'm going to let you roll it.
Ballistus is the one buffed by Ironfather, so he's +1 to hit. Starting with the Storm Bolters, the small guns.
Yeah, I got buffed up, hitting on 2s. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
100% hit.
Twin linked here, so rerolls on wound. Brad's looking for 4s.
4s. Gonna reroll the 1.
Nope.
Okay, just 1. 1 little bolter.
Ka-choo! Kevin will need 3s to save here.
And
Okay.
that's what he needed.
Khârn's feeling brave.
Brave enough to survive these last cannons.
Yeah, this is a much better weapon.
That looks
Uh-oh.
more promising. 2 shots land. He only needs 2s to wound.
Okay.
2 through. That might be it here.
Praying for 4s. Let's be invulnerable, Khârn. Oh! Save one, take one.
1d6 +1 damage here.
He can't roll a 1.
Okay, so he rolls a 1. Khârn is alive!
He might re-roll that.
No, there's more. There's more.
There's
Oh, there's more.
to go in.
There's
Okay.
more guns. There's more guns.
That's 2 hits with Brad's cracked missiles. It needs 2s to wound here. I kind of hope Khârn keeps standing, to be honest. 2 successful wounds, putting Khârn on his invuln again. Needs 4s. Can he do it? No! 1 save, 1 fail. That's it. No CP.
He would be
available.
dead. No CP reroll.
No points available. Khârn goes down.
All right. That's assassination for Brad.
I mean, it was inevitable.
Oh, yeah.
But that was worth the moment.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He rolled what he couldn't have rolled.
And that frees up the Terminators to get his other secondary established locusts.
Oh, funny. Establishing Locust with a giant hammer unit is a pretty big flex.
That makes sense why he didn't just using the Terminators to smack, but that,
Right.
That totally tracks. And now we move on to the Love Fest down near Objective 2, the Demon Prince.
Okay.
This is the Incursors into the Demon Prince, who is the Oath of Moment target, remember? So rerolls to hit. But Brad might have forgotten to reroll those 2s. He's only calling 4 successes, which needs 5s to wounds.
Reroll the 1 from his attachment rule. Nope.
Nope. At least the hits went through, so he gets the buff.
Yeah, he gets his buff. He's not trying to do damage on that. Just trying to boost the damage of the Eradicators and the Inceptors.
And the Demon Prince saves on 4, no damage. But like we said before, all Brad's other units are +1 to hit the Prince now. And we're going to start with the Eradicators.
This is like the perfect target. He gets to reroll his hit roll because of Oath and because of the Eradicator rule because he's shooting a monster.
Okay, blue dice need 2s, 3s on white. 1 miss, which he gets to re-roll.
Rerolling. There we go. So everything's a success there.
Okay, so he needs 4s to actually wound, but he does get full re-rolls. And like you said earlier, Eradicators like them monsters.
Oh, who needs rerolls with a roll like that?
Okay,
That's
we
a
did
lot of
it.
force.
Oh my gosh.
Dice giveth and the dice taketh away. Right now they're giving.
It's giving dead Demon Prince. Oh, look at those four!
That was very good.
That is super good, because I only dropped 2 of those.
That is,
He only failed 2.
there's a possibility the Demon Prince could go
Yeah.
down right now, but only
It's like actually.
only if there are 2 6s that drop right now.
Yep. Okay, here comes
I get
boxcars.
to reroll these as well because you got the Eradicator rule.
All right, try again.
Yeah,
Close.
we'll go for broke.
All right. Please roll 2 1s.
Nope. Demon Prince still stands. Not bad, but not dead.
Yeah, that's still pretty good. It's gonna be -1 damage because of the helm, so he'll take
Still
7.
alive on 3, but he's not gone, so Brad can't move his Oath target right now. Okay, the Inceptors are up next.
You gonna split fire?
I'm moving to split fire. I'm going to get very greedy.
Okay.
Okay, Brad will split fire between the Demon Prince and the 8-bound tucked here.
Yeah, a split fire is always making a deal with the devil. It's like, I'm gonna try to trust the math here, and we've seen time and time again in this game that the dice don't care what the odds are. However, I will say that the Inceptor gun is like the perfect gun to kill an 8-bound with, so this might not be that greedy. We'll see.
Okay, first up, 2 guys into the Demon Prince, 4 attacks.
He's on 2s rerolling. He gets the +1 to hit from the Incursors.
Okay.
He'll reroll that from Oath. There we go.
right.
You only needed 2.
All 4 connect. He needs 4s now and can reroll. This shot is overcharged, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Maybe
heating up.
Brad's gamble pays off.
If Kevin fails 1, the Demon Prince is dead.
Looking for 4s to save.
And we saved. Oh, come on,
man.
Oh, yes.
Oh, turn's not going good. Turn's going bad, everyone.
That is...
This is why you don't split fire.
Oh, that Demon Prince Ooh, still stands. And now the remaining Inceptors into the 8-bound, needing 3s.
All right. Come on, 8 pounds.
Ooh, that is...
Oh, wow.
Oof.
No oath benefits here, only 3 hits.
Missing more than half.
This is going bad.
The dice have betrayed you.
Yeah, this is going really bad.
Oh, no. Okay.
The split fire choice here. The stigma survives.
All right.
Looking for 3s here. Rerolls because of twin linked. And nothing changes on the reroll, so only 2 wounds. 8-bound will have 5 up saves, invulns.
No.
I'll take 2 of them.
2 8-bound go down. Only 1 standing, so not nothing here.
It isn't nothing. I will say that 1 8-bound is still very scary. So they can kill a lot. It's 6 attacks all by himself.
The hazard rolls from overcharge here, and 1 Inceptor does go down. So what do you think? Is 1 Inceptor worth 2 8-bound?
I think it is.
Okay.
I actually do. It's probably like a 40 point for 80 point thing. I think it is.
Okay.
I would say showing 2 of those units to not kill a Demon Prince is probably bad, though.
Yeah.
The clapback is going to hurt.
It's getting exciting. Before that, however, Brad has a couple units left that can shoot. His Redemptor and an Incursor Squad. Looks like he will order the Incursors to open fire on the Hellbrute near center, and they need 3s. All right, 6 hits. So this Hellbrute will be +1 to hit now for everybody else. To wound, however, these guys need 6s.
All right. Let's see if your dice are coming back.
No.
Nothing.
Not a
Still
single
gets
thing.
the buff. So you'll see this a lot. The Incursors are just blasting, and they do no damage, but they're really just a buff piece.
And this Redemptor will take that buff and try to pry open the Hellbrute now.
Yep. Overcharging his macroplasma.
First attack up will be from the grenade launcher, D6 shots, 4 of them.
It's good, a little above average.
Redemptor attempting to hit now, needs 2s. 3 of them land. Now he needs 6s to actually wound. Nothing doing.
Here's Gatling.
Right, Gatling cannon has 8 shots. Brad will be hitting on 2s.
This is like a slightly better gun, but still not the gun that we want to see hit that Hellbrute yet.
All 8 hits land. Wounding on 5s with devastating.
Ooh, oh, no.
Oh,
One save, 1 dev. Well, he's chipping.
Hellbrute has a 2-up save here.
Hey!
Oh, 2 wounds.
Okay. That Hellbrute actually there's an impact to it.
Has 6 health left. As we move on to the Icarus pod, D3 shots. Oh, ooh, 1 shot.
We're still in like the piddly shooting phase. This is just little piddlies.
Reroll here.
Couple piddles.
Needs a 5. Got
Okay, got 6.
It's not devastating, though.
Yep.
Hellbrute again, looking for 2s to save.
There's his 2 up. There you go.
All right, I think this is what you've been waiting for. The Macro Plasma Incinerator.
Here we go. This is the real gun.
This will be overcharged. First up, D6 +1 shots.
Yeah. So that shot count, we got 3 shots.
Hit down 2s.
2 hits.
And he will need 4s to wound here.
There we go. Got 1. It's -4 because of the overcharge. So he's in cover. What has he got? 5?
Yep, Kevin looking to save on a 5. Nothing.
Okay.
3 damage to the face for the Hellbrute, dropping him at only 3 wounds left.
Hazardous save. He's fine.
Hazardous check passed for the Redemptor, and we shift into Brad's charge phase.
I am gonna try this 1 charge here.
Okay.
That will be the 1 charge I do.
So Brad is trying to charge his Redemptor into Kevin's Hellbrute. With that react attack, is this a good call, you think?
Yeah, I think it's a strength 12 weapon into like a less than T12 body. Good amount of AP, good amount of damage. That's good allocation.
Brad needs a 7 here.
We'll get there.
With an 8.
Success, the Redemptor is in. This upcoming fight phase will feature both of Brad's Redemptors, the one here versus the Hellbrute. We'll see if the Goremongers can stay alive back at his home objective. It looks like Brad will activate a tank shock here against the Hellbrute.
It might push him over the line.
Looking for 5s.
Yeah, not bad.
3 mortal wounds into the Hellbrute.
3 down to 5. He just needs 2 of his attacks to go through to kill him.
Does he get to clap back when hit by that tank shock?
No, it's allocate an attack, and a tank shock is not an attack that is allocated.
All right, now it's time to tempt fate. Brad's looking for 3s to hit.
Come on, turn.
All right.
3 hits will wound on 3s. If Brad can't drop this Hellbrute here, it will get to punch back like twice.
Not bad. Okay. He's got 3 saves.
Kevin needs 4s.
Whoa! This is, I do say, the downside of a Redemptor is that stat line looks scary, but like 6 dice turns to 2 dice real fast.
So the Hellbrute's Frenzy activates now.
Frenzy.
And pretty much all to do with Kevin's magical luck rolling 4.
This is the kind of luck that Kevin needed to stay in this game.
Jesus, I didn't even... Never mind.
It's all good?
Oh, I totally forgot to shoot something.
Oh,
That's fine.
no. Okay.
Nope, we can't go back.
Oh man, Brad's feeling things falling apart a little bit here as Kevin's Hellbrute swings its hammer attack, looking for 4s, 6s sustained. That's 2 sustained and 5 successes. So the Hellbrute rolls 7 dice to try to wound, looking for 3s.
4 saves to the Redemptor.
AP -4.
Who's 6s?
Yeah, damage is like D6 + 1 per hit, so a real chance of losing the Redemptor here.
6s.
Oh, the luck turns around.
That's 2 saves. Okay, Kevin's gonna roll 2 dice straight up. 4 damage. So it was looking like a dead Redemptor. Clutch save. Now it's standing toe-to-toe with the Hellbrute. 8 wounds remaining. So now in ongoing combat, Kevin will stick with the Hellbrute and attack again.
Yeah, it's some of the only access to like fight more than once in a phase. The Frenzy rule is really crazy.
Ooh, rough. Kevin swings the hammer again, but a lot of misses this time. Only 2 hits land. 2 dice, wounding on 3s here.
3s.
1 fail, and there we go.
Just one.
Just 1. Brad needs a 6 to save. No joy.
I will do damage.
Oh, 1 + 1 - 1 is 1.
The turn that never ends is finally nearing the end. Brad's charging Redemptor is alive on 7. We'll move over to his other stompy mech, finally looking to free itself from those Goremongers. He needs 3s here.
I would typically pick him up, but
Yeah. No, the turn's been going real bad. So.
4 hits land, not bad, especially since the Redemptor wounds on like 2s here, and these guys will not get any kind of save.
There we go.
Okay, that squeaks by.
Yeah, by the skin of his teeth there. Knocked out those 3 guys.
Wipes that squad.
Dan.
That is an example. This turn is an example of why I like this game.
Yeah.
It seems like so obvious that one thing should be winning out over another.
Yeah.
And then the dice tell another story. That'll be the end of the round, by the way. How are we looking here?
So at the bottom of round 2, we're going to have Brad scoring 5 for Assassination and 2 for Established Locust. That puts the total score now Kevin 14, Brad 26.
All right, out of round 2. So to me, it looked like the luck is with Kevin like crazy.
Yeah.
I mind blowing.
Kevin is like really spiking saves, and to me, the tail of round 2 is I'm going to send my hammer out and have it do nothing. They both spent like 600 points of units to just bounce. Kevin with his Berzerker and Khârn didn't do anything to the Terminators. And then we had Brad sending in the Eradicators and the Inceptors, and they didn't kill the units they went after. So it's a lot of wet noodle fighting happening.
Maybe Brad has one leg up because he didn't lose his hammer right away. So I suppose that's something. But let's see how the guys are taking it themselves.
That was a turn. That is what we call Murphy's turn. Between the Incursors failing to get off their haywire, Kevin passing 6 of the 8 saves on his Demon Prince, forgetting to fire the Ballistus, like it just all cascaded out of control.
The tar pit that normally is Khârn and 10 Berzerkers all got wiped out in the clapback from all of the Terminators, but when it got into his turn and everything survived that should be dead, I think I'm okay.
Interestingly enough, my Terminator is actually in a decent spot to pretty much not get touched.
There's a possibility I wipe out the Terminators, but they're a tar pit. They do bring back guys every command phase, so I have to keep that in mind. I think in combat, I have to avoid them. Start funneling my damage elsewhere.
I'm going to lose the Inceptors. I may lose the Eradicators. It could be a rough turn.
All right, so there we have it. Tension is high, plans are adjusting, and we're going to dive back into the top of round 3 between Kevin's World Eaters and Brad's Iron Hand Marines.
All right, let's pray to God.
no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. This is exactly what I wanted.
Nice. That's a good roll.
Oh, he's getting.
Oh, devastating into infantry.
That is exactly what he said he wanted.
So somebody heard his prayer. All right, drawing secondaries.
Area denial.
To go with his no prisoners.
Right, so he'll score by holding the middle.
without anybody else in there.
So he doesn't mind going to the middle right now. He can like get rid of those incursors. He'll be there to score area denial.
Okay, now each player gains a CP, and then it's time for Kevin to roll some battle shocks. He's got 3 units that all need morale checks. You got the Demon Prince, that lone 8-bound, and one of his Hellbrutes.
Nice.
Demon Prince passed.
Pass, very brave, very scary brave man.
Next up is the Lonely 8-bound. And passed. Lonely 8-bound, that's the first track on my country album, Big Guns in the Fire. All right, Hellbrute passed.
Pass.
Okay.
The World Eaters, they might be behind on score, but they are feeling brave.
Speaking of score, it's the end of Kevin's command phase.
Looks like Kevin's on 2 objectives, so he's going to score 10 for primary, and that's going to bring him up to 24 to Brad's 26. We're
Neck and
close.
neck.
It doesn't feel too far out of reach. It's all about decisions he's going to make.
Yeah,
It
and
feels like
Brad's last turn was not that scary. This could have gone so much worse for Kevin. Kevin still has a lot of tools he can play with. He can hit these Inceptors, hit these Eradicators. He's got his Demon Prince. He's got that single 8-bound. He's got Hellbrutes. He's got stuff to play with.
Yeah, it looks like he's bringing those toys out to play. Okay, so he shifted the Forge Feet out near center. Then he took his Exalted 8-bound into the Ruin, and now he's advancing his Jackals. Not worried about screening his backline anymore.
Yeah, he can push up now. He's no longer afraid of that 6-inch deep strike.
And there's no uppy downy in that Marines army.
There is uppy downy on the Terminators, but I think he's going to try to keep them locked up.
Right. That, and Brad's been using them like a singularity, just kind of sucking Kevin's units inside and crushing them. Speaking of which, Kevin moves his Lonely 8-bound into center, maybe going after that area denial score.
I think I see the plan.
Okay, Halbert moving up, like danger close to the Terminators.
Hoping to maybe get some buff from that devastating wounds against infantry.
Maybe. Kevin's going to advance this 8-bound. Says he wants them closer to center.
That
Another one, the slowest World Eaters.
Yeah, it is kind of a kick in the nuts there for him, I think. That just the speed of his army is so good, but the advance rolls have not been there for him.
Is that the deal he made with Khorne? Like slow advance for all those 4s he can roll?
There goes one of those weird ass moves.
Just a sideways moving Rhino. They're drifting. They're drifting.
So movement phase ends on a drifting tank. We'll actually get a World Eater shooting phase now. Hellbrute Flamer into the Incursors there, D6 shots.
Little bit of shoot, some Flamer, 3 shots. If he's lucky, he kills an Incursor.
Ooh, needed 3s there.
1 wound.
AP -1.
No save, just 1 damage.
They're fine.
Got a little Bernie.
Yeah, they got fire just blasted in their face, but just the guy way over there is the one that got hurt.
He just passed it down.
Yeah.
Here, have this.
Yeah.
Rhino uses Havoc Launcher, 5 attacks from that die.
Hit on 4s.
3 hits, all going into the Incursors again, by the way. 3s to wound.
On 3s.
And, ooh, nice. 3 saves needed from Brad now.
There you go. He's
yeah,
fine.
nothing.
AP 0 doesn't do damage.
More shooting. This is probably the most shooting for his army the entire game.
Absolutely.
So 2 hits from the Rhino's Combi Bolters at the Incursors. He'll wound on 4s.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Come on, you guys.
It's okay. So more shooting to go. This time, Demon Prince.
Demon Prince actually has kind of a funny gun. It's only AP 1, but it's damage 2. It can actually hurt people.
Shooting at the Incursors, hitting on 3s. 2 hits land.
It is fun to be able to shoot with a Demon Prince now. You used to not be able to do it.
3s to wound.
Nice.
Hey, 2 wounds.
So these are 2 damage
2
each.
saves with cover. AP -1. 1 hit gets through, and finally, after all that fire, like 1 Incursor goes down.
We're gonna shoot the Forge Fiend into the Terminators.
Here we go.
The Forge Fiend. This
Forge
is,
Fiend.
I am going to armor contempt the.
Oh, Armor Contempt plus cover is going to bring that down to AP 1. He's going to get 3 up saves.
Okay, number of shots. These are D3s, so 7 here. 7 plus rapid fire.
Rapid fire and blast is going to be +2 on each of those dice.
So 13 total here.
Yeah, hitting on 4s. Now, normally the Forge Fiend would get to re-roll the hit roll if it goes into the closest eligible target, but because those Incursors are closer, he's not going to be able to re-roll.
8 hits.
Very good, actually.
I'm gonna roll in 4s.
Ah.
I'm learning this.
Maybe I should have brought Angry on
Right?
instead.
Play Custodes, man. You'll be undefeated.
Yeah. Play Custodes, you'll be invincible.
Yeah, wise words from Brad there.
So on 2s. No 1s, no 1s, no 1s.
Bam, 7 shots from Kevin will wound. But like you said before, what was AP -3 is only -1 now, so Brad only needs 3s to save.
Go all the way down to 8.
So defensive.
3.
Cover and AOC, one of the best combos. Oh, just one?
Brad saves 6 out of 7. The Forge Fiend kills only a single already wounded Terminator.
Kevin definitely was hoping to kill more Terminators than that.
Absolutely. But in other news, Kevin's not done shooting.
Yeah, this is the longest shooting phase a World Eater has ever had.
I enjoy shooting, so this doesn't bother me, but it is funny to finally see, oh, okay.
So Flamer into the Incursors, and he fails 1.
Saving on 4+ here. 2 damage goes through, dropping a wounded Incursor and leaving a second with 1 health.
Now we get to the fun part.
Nice. So we're into the charge phase, which is my second favorite phase. My first favorite phase is coming up in a minute.
Starting with the Exalted 8-bound into the Jump Pack Marines.
Kind of unfailable charge here,
Yeah.
but good the roll anyway. He can kind of go wherever he wants with how close he is. He's just going to put them straight into their faces.
Now, what he did there is he set up that charge from behind the wall because he wasn't sure that Brad would spend the AOC, so he was worried about Overwatch here. That's probably why he didn't move his Demon Prince, probably why he went behind the wall to avoid the Overwatch from the Inceptors. But now he can kind of charge wherever he wants without getting Overwatched.
That makes sense.
And next up will be the Demon Prince charging at the Eradicators. This is a long charge. I think he needs a 9. Can he get there?
And he got it. All right.
Got it. Wow.
Hey,
Cannot catch a break.
Poor Brad, feeling the pressure. Probably because that Demon Prince is going to make this quick.
Demon Prince slaps.
Eradicators may be eradicated here shortly.
Okay, and then last but not least, Ed is going to charge into the Terminators.
That one's Ed. Got it. He needs like a 4 to get to the Terminators. Okay, 9. He's good. Moving in. You know, I find it interesting that Kevin says he like recognizes these Terminators as a tar pit trap, yet he's still throwing units and
Yeah.
has me a bit worried about this move. Oh, tank shock from the Hellbrute.
I see. Trying to get a little bit extra damage in here. He probably recognizes he doesn't have the output to like clean that squad up, so he's trying to soften it just a little bit.
3 mortal wounds to the Terminators from the Hellbrute tank shock.
Curious if he would have done that had he killed more with the Forge Fiend.
Yeah. The Tar Pit Brick still has 4 regular Terminators and both its characters. 1 regular is on a single wound. And we're going to move over to the Demon Prince. Kevin's going to use a stratagem to increase armor penetration at 0 CP.
You bring in the, I think it's AP2 up to AP3 now. Put the Eradicators on a 6-up save.
And as we start our fighting, the Demon Prince's strike
sustain.
needs 2s to hit. Looks like 7 land. They'll wound on 3 and...
okay, now our dev wounds come into play from his blessing.
Here we go. 2 dev wounds.
Okay.
2 misses, I think.
Yeah, 5 total. Brad can only try to save 3 of these, and like you said before, he'll need 6s.
So this one, these Eradicators don't have a lot of protection.
Whew.
Oh,
Nothing.
ouch.
These are 3 damage per hit. There's like 6 guys in the
No
squad,
prisoners
so...
is going to kill me.
All but one.
One survives.
Brutal.
Kevin wants that no prisoners, but I don't think it's going to come from this next fight. It's the Hellbrute versus the Terminators now. So Hellbrute's punching with fist. He gets an extra attack from the charge. He's hitting on 2s because of that 8-bound nearby. Okay, nice. 8 hits. But you know, like we touched on before, Kevin needs to be pushing Brad off other objectives. This just seems dubious.
Yeah, I think it's dubious. He doesn't have a lot of volume here. They're so durable.
Okay, so Kevin lands 2 devastating wounds. Brad has 5 saves on his 4-up invuln here. 3 damage per hit. Saves 3. 4 attacks go all the way through.
He does kill 2.
Drops 2, but one's going to stand right back up.
That is the ever-present problem with the Ancient.
Brutal, yeah.
Though the Hellbrute, if it survives the clapback, then it's going to get to activate again, which is good.
That's true. If it does live this, it'll get to use Frenzy again.
Meanwhile, Exalted 8-bound are hitting the something or other Marines.
Inceptors.
Right, exactly what I said. 10 hits landing on the cool jumpy Marines. Exalted wound on 3s.
3s to wounds, 6s are devastating.
6 is devastating because they are infantry, right?
They are infantry.
1 dev, 3 misses.
6 wounds for Brad to try and save.
It's AP3 though, which is going to be 6s to save.
And each fail is going to be 2 damage.
Ooh, you go. Manages to get 1.
1 save, but 6 total hits go through.
That's still 3 dead men.
Yeah, that drops them to less than half. 2 models remain, and they're now facing Kevin Slaughterbound, who's looking to slaughter some Marines.
Yeah.
7 attacks, hitting on 2s here.
That Glaive is super helpful here because it takes it from 2 damage to 3 damage.
7 wound rolls.
And the Inceptors are 3 wounds each. So every fail is a dead Inceptor.
Ouch, 2 devastating wounds.
2 devs. He's just straight up dead.
And that will wipe the squad.
Yay, I got 1 no prisoner.
Finally, 1 no prisoners for Kevin.
That's brutal as a World Eater player. No prisoners is like probably your favorite secondary card as a World Eater player because you want to kill things.
Right, but it's the 3rd round.
Yeah.
He's held on to that card.
The nails were biting.
All right, it is time for the slapbacks.
Yep.
Redemptor into Hellbrute needs 3s to hit. 3 connect, wounding on 3s. This is where I'm going to be curious. If he can't take down that Hellbrute gets to hit back and then hit back again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
3 wounds. Kevin saves on 4s.
Yeah, because even though he does Frenzy, he still gets to fight in his fight phase.
Please don't.
He's
my
nothing.
gosh.
Oh no.
How?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
Come on.
All right, so this is now going to
Judge, the red dice are rigged.
So the Redemptor does nothing except to give the Hellbrute an extra set of attacks, which start now.
So Frenzy's activating, hitting on 3s.
A lot of 1s there. 4 hits.
Wounding on 3s. No dev wounds here because he's going into a vehicle.
3 go through. Brad's going to need 4s to make these 3
See
saves.
if I can roll for it.
Yes.
Historically speaking, this has not been great. Oh, look, I fail all of them.
Oh my goodness, Brad. Oh, brutal.
Redemptor's barely alive on 1 wound. I think Brad might be feeling a little regret here because that was just the frenzy. Now is the actual fight back.
Here we get to go.
Needed 3s, so 6 attacks land. These will wound on 3s again. Not devastating still. I bet she's a little bummed the devs don't come into play, but that's okay. Still 4 wounds landing. Brad saves on 4s again.
Average would
never
be,
know.
like, encouraging.
Still slightly under odds.
Redemptor goes down and
Does it explode?
all right.
so sad to see this guy go. He started off so strong. Like in round 1, he had the kill shot on Kevin's first Hellbrute that went down, then brutalized the Chaos Spawn. And in round 2, he chewed up the other Hellbrute in the middle before the ill-fated charge into Eddie here, who and now he can consolidate into that next unit, which forces the other unit to activate.
Yeah, the Incursors legally have to punch him, even though they don't want to.
So putting that off as long as he can, Brad is choosing to fight with his Terminators.
Piling in the Terminators into the Hellbrute.
Kevin's best hope, I think, is that the Terminators do not delete Ed the Hellbrute here.
Yeah.
Ed only has 3 wounds left thanks to the shooting from Brad's newly deceased Redemptor. So, like, what's your call on this one?
He's got 3 Terminators left. It could really go either way because there are still 2 characters too. Let's see what happens.
Okay, Brad will be hitting on 2s here with lethals. White dice are Caanok Var. That's a lot of dice. And only 2 of them missed. The 2 6s are lethal and automatically wound, so Brad will roll the remaining 14 and needs 4s to wound. 6s are devastating. Ooh, not looking bad. 1 devastating wound in there. Outside of that, Kevin's rolling 10 saves on his lucky number.
Yeah, let's see. He's been rolling 4s like crazy. Let's see how he does. Honestly, pretty good. Is it enough?
It's not bad, but
Not enough. Not enough.
Terminators shut down the frenzy, but will they pay for it here? No.
Does not blow up. Yeah. So no more frenzy.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that choice. I understand he really wants to keep whittling that Terminator brick down because it's so scary, but
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe he would have been better served to put that into the Marines on the objective,
Into the
clear them off.
Incursors. Get rid of the Incursors. Make sure that area denial goes off.
Exactly. Though in related news, it's time. Brad's piling in around Eddie Van Hellbrute over there.
You legally must punch him.
No choice.
Yeah, here we go.
So there are only 3 models left in this Marine unit. 3 attacks each.
Let's be on 3s.
6s are sustains, by the way.
Pretty good.
Yeah, there we go, Brad.
Couple sustained.
That'll be 8 total shots connecting, wounding on, ouch, 6s. Not looking promising.
1 6.
Is there at least a chance, you're saying?
-1 will be on a 3-up. He saves it.
Yeah.
Durable World Eaters. Frenzy turns on.
That's nuts, but fun. I can kind of see why Kevin likes having 3 of these guys. He needed 3s, got 5 successes, wounding on 2s. Got 4 out of 5 there, okay.
Brad needs 5s, I believe.
On 5 bucks.
I think this is AP3. He saves 1, but that's not enough to save the squad.
This is what he needs to be doing, and that's pushing Brad off of these objectives.
Yeah, pushing him back, getting some denial if he can. But this is the power of the 6-inch pylon and consolidate, is being able to just move across the table.
Okay, so it looks like there's one last thing. So the Eradicator here is attempting to valiantly fight off the Demon Prince bearing down on him.
There is a world where he does do it. If he gets all of his hits, all of his wounds, and then Kevin literally saves nothing, he could do it.
Oh, needed 3s. But he does get to reroll because the Prince is still the oath target. Is he the little Marine that could?
Twice. The dream is dead.
The dream is dead. Can't kill the Prince here, but a chance to chip away, wounding on 5s. And nothing, moving on.
Oh, this is a little bit out of sequence here. Looks like Brad was being sporting and letting Kevin do his consolidation move after the fact, but he should have done that when he killed the Inceptors.
Right, you consolidate immediately with that unit. Well, hey, is yet another example of good sportsmanship. And this will mark the end of Kevin's turn, and we'll be moving to the bottom of round 3.
At the end of Kevin's third turn, he finally scores no prisoners, but area denial was no go. He's going to get rid of that for a CP.
And so Kevin is ahead just barely, 29-26. So Kevin finally scores no prisoners.
Yeah, he's been holding that card all game, but he finally scored it. I was pretty happy with Kevin's turn overall. He got to kind of eliminate the Inceptors. He really made the Eradicators useless. And he got to ping-pong his Hellbrute over onto the expansion.
Yeah.
So, primary denial, getting rid of 2 really big assets for Brad. That's a great turn for Kevin.
It's fun to see how the actual Hellbrute starts to work.
Yeah.
It's really neat. It's a cool ability.
It's so cool. There's nothing else like it in the whole game.
Well, let's see if it does anything else in the bottom of round 3. Kicking things off, Kevin's at 2 CP while Brad has 1. And as expected, the Terminators resurrect a model, so back up to 4 bodyguards, and the extra little kick in the nuts is that he's going to stand up on an objective.
Which is great, because this happens before his primary score, so before he resurrects this model, he's on 1 objective. He would have only scored 5, but because he resurrects, he's going to get 10.
Sneaky, sneaky.
All right, so he's playing his secondary cards. He gets Extend Battle Lines and Display of Might. He's in a pretty good position to probably get both of those. Extend, he has to hold his home and just 1 more. And for Display of Might, he just needs to put more of his units in the middle of the field than Kevin has in the middle of the field. I think he's staged up in a pretty good position to do that.
Tension mounts. First, a Battle Shock for their lone Eradicator. Ooh, failed.
Yeah, he is scared.
Yeah, I mean, that is totally reasonable. An Eradicator staring down the face of the Demon Prince.
Let's see if that Gravis armor is poop-proof.
Okay. Meanwhile, Brad's Oath of Moment will land on...
The Hellbrute.
Is this Eddie?
You know, I wish I knew.
He needs to tattoo it on the armor. Yeah. So at the end of Brad's command phase, he will score primary.
Yeah, Brad has control of 2 objectives, so he's going to get 10 more for primary, and that's going to bring the score to Kevin 29, Brad 36.
And we dive straight into the movement phase. Brad first calling up his Ballistus, moving straight forward onto objective 4 to challenge the Hellbrute. Next is...
Iron Father.
Actually coming out into the world right now.
He's still going to have Lone Up because he's within 3 of the Ballistus. So it's funny, sometimes they look like they're out in the open.
But there's not enough guns, I think, unless that Forge Fiend survives this round and moves into position. Oh, here's what you talked about before we even started, I think. The Redemptor had been staged back there, just waiting for the right time to poke out to shoot right down the middle.
I also think that Brad is a little less scared of the clapback after this. I think he's making his final big push. Gonna shove out that Redemptor, and he's like, yeah, I'm here now. What are you gonna do about it?
And Brad will advance his Marines, who've been screening his back line, with a 6. Yeah, everybody's coming out. There's nothing else the World Eaters have that they can't uppy downy. So there's nothing else for them to drop.
He's on the table. He is where he is.
And, you know, looking at it, I would guess that there are way more Marines than World Eaters, but there's actually an equal number of models. There's 19 per side on the field, and they're less than 100 points army value apart right now, so it's way closer than it feels to me.
So it looks like he's trying to flip primary here. He's asking Kevin what the OC is on the 8-bound. I believe they're 1 each, so he just needs to get a couple of incursors on there to flip that point.
He's going to dip inside of here, and then he's going to dip back out. Hello.
Okay, so he's avoiding that 8-bound. I like that move. He dips into the building and then out, so he stays outside of engagement range.
So this is probably just my bloodlust talking. But because the Incursors are going to be the closest eligible target to that Forge Fiend, I would maybe Overwatch that, but it's probably not worth it. Kevin's making the right call, I'm sure. Got the Ballistus coming up, trying to get line of sight, probably on the Demon Prince.
There's going to be a lot of shooting.
Oh my god, this is gonna. You thought that last shooting phase was long.
Okay, so Brad wants to retreat the lone Eradicator away from the Demon Prince.
So taking a desperate escape test here because he failed his battle shock.
Successful escape.
So if he rolled a 1 or a 2 there, the Eradicator would have just straight up died.
From a heart attack?
Probably choking on the poop that's in his Gravis armor.
Oxygen levels too low.
Yeah.
For now, the Eradicator lives. All right, Brad's movement phase continues with the Terminators. They're coming out to play. They're spilling onto the center. It looks like they're securing the objective, putting themselves in position to maybe tear apart that Forge Fiend, which was so ineffective Kevin's last turn.
I also think that he wanted to Overwatch here, and Brad is wise to measure that the Incursor is the closest eligible unit so that the Terminators are just a little bit further away so that Kevin doesn't get those rerolls that he desperately wants on an Overwatch.
And no Overwatch, it seems. We move into shooting.
Gonna do the Ballistus into the Hellbrute.
That's Eddie Van Hellbrute, I think his name is. At least it is now. Okay, last cannon, hitting on 3s with rerolls.
Okay, so here's the big gun. This is the one that wants to kill the Hellbrute.
Both attacks hit.
2s to wound, because I think the Hellbrute's the oath target, so he's going to be +1 to wound, and he gets the rerolls 1s.
1 success, 1 reroll, into a success. 2 wounds go through.
-3, put him on a 5-up save.
Roll 5s.
Save 1, take 1.
That'll be a d6 +1 damage from Brad, and the Hellbrute only has 5 wounds left.
He dies, he dies.
He lives! 4 damage alive on 1 wound, but it's
Just
not
because
over.
He has been a menace. I'm going to fire my Storm Bolters next.
Okay. Partly out of spite, the Storm Bolters, which are like anti-infantry, are firing. All 4 shots hit. They'll wound on 5s with twin link rerolls.
Hey, there you go. 3 and no AP.
3 2s. Don't go to 1. Got a 1.
Yeah.
Unless I CP reroll.
Yeah.
Kevin's considering a reroll.
There's more guns. I wouldn't CP this.
Yeah, don't do it, Kevin. Don't waste it, man.
Yeah, you know, I think he's gonna be dead.
No reroll.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Good job.
Now does he explode?
He does. He does explode.
Just insult me on the way out.
A Hellbrute hath no fury like when killed by a pea shooter.
I can go to this. Deadly Demise
Yeah,
1.
he just takes a damage on the Ballistus.
And all of the Hellbrutes are off the board now. Brad's Ballistus is still fine with 11 wounds, and the Oath of Moments switches over to the Forge Fiend. And what I was saying a minute ago about them being a lot closer than I thought is no longer the case. Brad's outgunning Kevin by a lot now. Speaking of guns, next step to fire, those backline Marines. They advance, but they have assault on their guns, so they're firing at the lonely 8-bound.
And they're putting all the fire into 1 target, so he's going to get extra dice.
They needed 3s to hit, and 14 of them connect. But they need 5s to wound. Okay, solid hits. 5 wounds heading Kevin's way. 8-bound needs 4s to save. Wow.
He's so over odds on his saves. Crazy.
The 8-bound's still standing. It takes a damage. It's alive on 2 wounds. And we're moving on to the next target now, which will be...
Ballistus into Forge Fiend. And what happened when he killed the Hellbrute is Caanok Var moved the Oath target over to the Forge Fiend. So he's going to get rerolls to hit here.
Oh, slight update. Big guns will go into the Forge Fiend, but the Storm Bolter will go after the Lonely 8-bound. Starting with the Bolters first, 3s will hit. 2 land, wounding on 5s. Whiff, but he gets rerolls because of twin linked. Nope, nothing. Moving on to the Ballistus last cannon at the Forge Fiend. Needed 3s, both hit. These will wound on 2s.
Reroll 1s
Yeah.
from detachment.
That's 1. Will he get the second through?
There we go.
Oof, squeaked by.
5-up demon save.
Every fail is a d6 +1 damage here.
No, there we go. The luck is gone. Those are big fails.
This could end the Forge Fiend right here. Brad's going to roll damage one at a time.
So he takes 5 damage and
That'll drop the Fiend to 5 wounds left.
6 damage. That's 11.
Oh, that'll do it. The Forge Fiend goes down.
Does he explode?
Okay.
Yes! Another explosion. The World Eaters are either making their saves or they're exploding.
And nothing in between.
Man.
Okay, the Jackals are out of range, but the Incursors, Terminators, and Lonely 8-Bound are all in danger.
Cursors.
Okay. So D3 takes 2 damage. That's 1 dead Incursor.
Okay, that squad's down to 4 of 6. Now we'll see if there's a friendly fire incident with the 8-Bound.
Here we go. Don't roll a 3 or 4. Oh, just 1.
Only one.
He's literally alive on 1 wound.
I think we make a series about this Lonely 8-Bound that couldn't die. Now on the Terminators. 3, that's enough to kill the wounded Terminator and drop another to half.
That's a nice middle finger on the way out.
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody please check me on this, but I think the Forge Fiend did more damage to the Terminators by exploding on death than from attacking.
Oh my gosh, brutal.
Okay, now Brad will call up the Incursors, and they will...
Oh, nice. That's a good idea.
Grenade on.
Yeah,
Demon
he could just put him to bed right now, which he does.
Hey, we got 3.
Night-night.
Yeah, there you
man.
go. All right. Does he blow up?
Yeah.
All right. Come on.
That would have
1 away.
you know,
That would have been funny.
I think we all actually wanted that to happen.
All right, we are losing big assets right now.
Huge swing.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's not looking good. He's losing super important resources.
Less than 500 army points left on the table here.
Yeah, he's starting to run out of gas for sure.
Incursors shooting the 8-Bound. Needed 3s. 3 hits land, and this will wound on a 5.
5s.
All right.
Thank you for running us.
No wounds, but they do hand out the buff.
Right. The rest of the Marines are +1 to hit the 8-Bound now.
Redemptor putting everything into the Exalted 8-Bound and the Slaughterbound.
Everything except the grenade launcher, it seems.
So he's splitting fire here. He's trying to knock out that 8-Bound that has a single wound left.
And 2 attacks from the grenade launcher, hitting on 3s.
Please.
Only 1 shot lands here, wounding on a 5.
5.
And miss.
The little guy that could.
Can Twin Linked come through? Nope, nothing.
So far, splitting fire has not gone
Yeah.
particularly great.
Here's the
Stand.
big macroplasma into the Exalted 8-Pound.
That's all for.
Oof, maximum shot count.
D6 +1, so 7 shots flying.
Here it comes.
Yep, hitting on 2s because of the Incursors.
Huh?
Drops 1
Only 1 miss, so 6 wound rolls coming up.
on 3s. Oof.
Ooh, lot of 1s, but 3 go
A
through.
little bit under. He probably wanted 1 more wound there.
This is overcharged, by the way, so -4 AP.
This is 3 invols here.
He'll need 5s.
Each one of these is a dead 8-Bound.
5 ups.
Oh, fails them all.
He rolls those 4s.
But when you need 5s,
yeah.
what a 4s?
Oh, that's it.
Oh, hold up. Kevin's considering re-rolling this.
Really?
If not, he definitely loses the Exalted unit.
I think so. I'm gonna spend a CP.
Okay, he's doing it. 1 die re-roll.
That's good.
There, 5.
Fail again. So Kevin burns a CP and still loses his entire Exalted 8-Bound squad. The Slaughterbound is still standing, but for how long as shooting continues?
Icarus Rocket Pod has D3 shots.
2 attacks. These will hit on 2s. Both hits connect. Can they deal damage?
So we'll be on 3s to wound here. Okay.
Oh.
Now I gotta roll some 5s.
4s, I think, actually.
Oh, it's only AP 1?
Yeah, and say both. The 4s are strong with Kevin today. Now the Gatling cannon.
This one has dev wounds.
Hits on 2s. Oh my god, 4 1s.
Hitting on 2s and missing with half is brutal.
So awful. Now he needs 5s. 6s are devastating. Absolutely nothing. That is a rough series of rolls.
So the Slaughterbound survived the attack from the Redemptor, which could keep Kevin in this just a little bit longer.
And that'll wrap up the shoot phase. We're moving to the charge phase. Where even though that 1 8-Bound survived the shooting, the Terminators are on the move.
I had made it with a 10.
The unfailable charge. He
Yeah.
rolls a 10. That's
Seeming to be the trend for the slow army today, just outcharging the fast army.
You know, I wish I had the stats for the advanced rolls, but one thing I do know is that Brad has over 1,000 points of army left, while Kevin is sadly down to just around 300.
And it looks like the Redemptor will try and join the party. Needs at least a 7, it seems.
It's a 5.
He fails a charge.
Yep.
Which does even the stats just a little, but he's going for a 10-inch charge with the Ballistus. Might as well give it a try.
Yeah, these are the kind of like whatever charges.
Yeah.
He does get it.
Hey! That
So
was
he's
unlikely.
in.
This is just comical at this point.
So he's out of CP. I was kind of thinking he might tank shock, but he is out of CP.
Yeah, Brad's been pretty poor the whole time.
A Slaughterbound could kill a Ballistus outright. So this is iffy. I don't know about this one.
I mean, he's still got the units on the board left over, so he doesn't want to lose a Ballistus. But even if he did, the tide has turned so far.
Yeah,
that
that's true. I guess
sacrifice.
it's just my gut of I can't lose my own models in my own turn.
Well, let's see how this plays out as we move on to the fight phase. Looks like Brad's forcing a battle shock on the Lonely 8-bound here and fails, so he's battle shocked. Just some insult to injury there as the Terminators bring the pain, hitting on 2s.
Sustained.
That's a lot of sustain there.
Yeah, Caanok Var makes that unit very
He's
killing.
got 18 dice rolling to wounds on 2s. 6s are devastating.
6 on the bleed by devs.
Only 3 misses.
2 devs off the Thunderhammers.
No possible save. So is it pink mist with these guys? Are they red-blooded?
Yeah, they're red-blooded. It gets
Okay,
pink.
then it was
They're not
pink.
filthy Xenos.
Then yes, the little 8-bound that could transform into pink mists. Meanwhile, in other news, we're going to find out if the Ballistus charge was a good or bad idea. Hitting on 3s, 4 attacks land, and he'll wound on 3s.
3 and no AP.
Kevin will save on 3s.
Oh, man. 1 damage each.
1 damage each. All right.
Takes 2.
Now the Slaughterbound strikes back.
He's gonna probably go birthday mode here.
I love that phrase.
Oh, he's calling it Super Saiyan. So there's a lot of different ways to there's best day ever. There's it's your birthday. It's Super Saiyan. So when you have an ability that boosts your damage output, there's a lot of nicknames for it.
9 of his 10 attacks land.
Yeah,
Pretty
excellent.
good. Looking for 4s to wounds. 6s are devs. No devs, but solid attack.
I mean, this dude, the Slaughterbound. I run 3 of these in my army. This thing can kill whatever it wants.
Okay, Brad's save roll.
4-ups are my kryptonite. I have not done well with this. I need at least 1. Hey, we got 1. Hey, we got 3. Oh my god. That's
All right.
Everything's coming up, Brad.
Yeah, that definitely came up, Brad. Definitive denial, only 2 damage.
Yeah, there was a real shot that actually Brad lost that in this turn, but
Yeah,
the
so-
dice kind of went hot for Brad and cold for Kevin.
And that will bring us to the end of round 3, where huge swings.
Huge swings, scoring, extend battle lines for 4, display for 4. Got his 10 primary
Got
at
his
the beginning
primary
of
at
the
the
turn.
beginning
that
of the
brings
turn, so
Brad
that brings Brad up to 44.
43.
Whew. Okay, end of 3. I think Kevin had a good turn,
Yeah.
but then Brad also had a good turn.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's
That was the turn Brad needed. Like,
Yeah.
it sort of looks like Kevin's starting to run out of gas here. I'm really curious what the guys have to say.
yeah. Okay, let's go to them.
That was the turn I needed. That was a significant recovery from the previous turn. I was able to just kill the things I needed to kill. I didn't have to worry about my opponent rolling an egregious amount of 4-ups.
Woof.
His turn actually surprised me just because he kind of had the same kind of turn I did, where like things didn't go the way they were supposed to.
How are those Terminators making you feel? Truly and honestly, I really thought I could get through more of them, but once the Hellbrute just barely scraped 1 dead, I knew that was kind of it.
Now that I've tied him up, I'm feeling pretty confident that I have the board locked down and there's very little he can do to respond.
All right, if I can't win, I either have to get rid of those Terminators or kill at least one of the Dreadnoughts, because all 3 are still up somehow.
Okay, so while defeat is not a foregone conclusion, it's not looking good for Kevin's World Eaters as we head into round 4.
Yeah, Brad's firmly in control. We're going to have Kevin coming up at the top of round 4. He's going to be on 1 objective to score 5 more points. Let's see what cards he pulls.
Yeah, the secondaries have not been great for him so far. Okay, first up, Blessings roll.
Oh, we got to pray to God first, though.
Praying to God.
Reroll charges? right, sustain and reroll charges. Double one, I think, can only give you reroll charges. It's like not the best.
I guess we'll see if the Jackals can make use of the blessings, because Kevin ID'd them as his MVPs so far, since, you know, they haven't disappointed him yet.
I like it.
The secondary draws here, Defense Stronghold and Tempting Target.
Oof, tempting target's not that great of a pull.
Defense Stronghold?
Jackals, MVP.
Yeah.
Hold
Let's
it
see
down,
if they hold
boys.
it.
Yeah.
And he'll spend a CP to redraw.
I would redraw tempting target too. There's no way he's gonna get that.
Draws Assassination.
Oof.
Is there even a possible assassination target?
Ironfather's very far away. In the middle, he does have the ancient.
Yeah. Well, not looking promising as we wrap up command phase. No battle shock rolls. Kevin will officially score 5 for the one objective he still holds. And as we go into the movement phase, Party Bus moves up.
Party Bus moving up.
He did say he wanted to threaten those Incursors.
Yeah, maybe with a tank shock, but I think he might only have 1 CP now, so he's gonna have to choose. Does he want a grenade or does he want to take shock?
Yeah, both players on 1 CP each. For the next move, here come the MVPs. Small risk of not scoring that secondary now.
He did pull Defense Stronghold, but because that unit has sticky objectives, he's kind of hoping that Brad is just too slow to get back there to take it away.
Well, that said, as we have shown, shockingly, the slow army has been faster.
That's true. Rolling 11-inch charges and 6-inch advances.
So Kevin's Slaughterbound is stuck in melee, so movement phase is over after moving just the Rhino and the Jackals.
And here comes that grenade.
Called it again. That'll drop Kevin to 0 CP. Jackals are grenading the Terminators.
Ooh, a little bit above.
Oh, hey, there we go.
So knock down a whole Terminator for 1 CP.
So only 2 Assault Terminators left standing, plus the characters. I guess Kevin is going to try for that moral victory now, huh? He's going to unload all his Rhino's guns into the Terminators also.
Yeah, he's wholly on that feature. He's going to be able to see those Terminators.
That was number of attacks from Havoc Launcher. So 5 attacks will hit on 4s. 3 hits, wounding on 3s. But I gotta ask, is this moral victory even possible?
I feel like this has been a theme in today's game where you see the Terminators and you activate into the Terminators, and it's falling right into Brad's trap.
1 damage lands.
He's allocated so much of his army into that Terminator squad over all 4 rounds of this game, and it's still there.
Agreed. Combi bolters hit on 4s. And I think Kevin is aware of it too. He said multiple times he calls it a tar pit, and he's right.
We're going to start having to call Kevin the Woolly Mammoth the way he'd be playing in that tar.
No more wounds, no more shooting for the Woolly World Eaters. Charge phase begins with a successful charge. Rhino into Terminators.
Yeah, he's just trying to knock it down.
Okay.
Maybe he's trying to go for the assassinate. Does he have money for tank shock? I feel like he doesn't.
He does not.
He doesn't.
MVP Jackal's up next.
So he's just going for broke, trying to push middle.
And just call him Captain Ahab here as the Jackals join the fray, going all in on the Terminators.
It feels a little sunk cost fallacy.
Yes.
Where he's just, well, I've already committed so much, I might as well keep committing. It's like, nah, cut your losses, score your points, friend.
Yeah.
But what he could be trying to do is get through enough Terminators to kill the Ancient to get Assassinate, try to score that secondary. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, maybe that's like the only thing he thinks makes sense since Ironfather is so far away.
Sometimes when you're going into something super durable, weight of dice is just the answer. Jackals aren't like the strongest unit in the army, but if he drops so many dice on Brad, it's possible that he fails enough of his saves that he actually can squeak out this assassinate.
Okay.
The math might not be exactly in his favor, but if we know anything about the math in this game, it's not the math telling the story, it's the dice.
Yeah, the dice are doing a pretty good job of keeping things spicy, thwarting Kevin's plans, leaving him with just like desperate options.
Let's stick some Jackals into these.
Yeah.
Into this Terminator armor.
The MVPs haven't really been tested other than they did what they were told originally.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those things where you get promoted into ineptitude.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys were doing great standing over there. Hey, you want to try fighting?
There's nobody left. You're it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it looks like they're ready to throw down, and
It's silly, but I will go ahead and armor from time.
All right.
I have nothing else better to do with it.
damn, okay, AOC.
Yeah, there is. I think there's one weapon with AP.
Not anymore, I guess. Kevin's going to start with the Skull Masher.
Skull Masher's a pretty good weapon. That one's 2 damage.
Looking for 4s.
Oh my goodness.
Swing and a miss.
That was definitely the best weapon in the unit, and it 3 1s. That was painful.
Not an auspicious start to this melee.
Some of these have to go through.
Yeah.
They have to go through. Let's
last
yeah,
words.
exactly. Let's see what the
Okay,
Oh, a lot
I
of
see a lot of
sustains.
sixes.
Very good sustains.
So Kevin just got 9 sustains and will end up throwing 26 dice to wound here.
He's +1 to wound.
So he needs 4s then.
Yeah,
Not
you get
worst, and 4s are his jam. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope he keeps it interesting here.
He should mathematically get half of these. Looks
Wow.
like a little over half.
Yeah, it looks like, no, it's exactly half. That's like his first average roll of the game. Mostly it's like feast or famine for Kevin on this.
Yeah.
Okay, 13 wounds to try and save. Brad's gonna break these up.
It's gonna hit Brad's 2-up save.
Roll 5 once.
Oh, there's 1/1.
1 damage gets through, and
He did kill one.
Yeah, there was a dude on 1 wound. He's down, leaving only 1 Terminator and 2 characters.
The least killy thing have killed the most Terminator.
4. Oh, you get another one through.
All right.
Okay, last Terminator's on 3 wounds. 4 dice left to roll. Needs 2s to save. Not happening. Not enough. 1 more die coming though. Saved.
So he killed a Terminator and put another one on 2 wounds.
Well, including the grenades, the Jackals here are actually feeling like the MVPs. They did more to the Terminators than the Forge Fiend. But we're not quite finished. The Rhino is roaring in to run over that last Terminator. It will hit on 3s. 6s are sustained.
So funny how much damage a Rhino can do in World Eaters, because it gets +1 attack, +2 strength. A Rhino becomes kind of funny in combat.
Okay, 5 hits can wound on 3s here. Wow.
Wounding Terminators on 3s is very funny.
4 wounds for Brad to save. Terminator Brick has only 2 wounds left. I mean, they are saving on 2s though. 1 wound left. Oh my god, is this gonna happen?
And
Saved. 1 more chance.
Nice.
Oh, nothing so close.
If that Terminator would have gone down, the resurrection would have stopped, because the bodyguard unit would have finally been dead.
But no such luck for the World Eaters. Now we have to move on to ongoing combat.
Here's Ballistus into the Slaughterbound.
3 hits a land. Brad wounds on 3s.
Same, but I get it.
2 wounds go through from the big kicky feet of the Ballistus.
3 of saves.
Jinx.
Takes 1. He's fine.
Slaughterbound is down to 3 wounds left. The Ballistus has 9 remaining.
This could be the moral victory he was looking for.
Yeah,
trying to
take
kill one of these Ballistus Dreadnoughts.
It's on 2s here with sustains.
6s are sustained.
Ooh.
Wow.
A lot of sustained. It is no longer the Slaughterbound's birthday, but he's ready. He's ready to hit.
4s to wound here. Only 3 wounding hits.
Are we pulling models or knocking dice?
Brad just needs to roll 1-4 or dead Ballistus.
Oh!
Kevin comes so close. 6 damage. The Ballistus is still standing on 3 wounds. He couldn't quite seal the deal on either kill he really wanted. So I guess it's time to see if the Jackals will get another shot next turn or if it's over for him.
Yeah, let's see if he can pick up the Jackals. He might actually have the volume to do it.
Yeah, the bodyguard unit's on the edge of death, but alive.
2 characters and a Terminator might be just enough.
Okay, Brad's starting with Caanok Var's sweep attack. That's 10 attacks. They'll hit on 2s with sustain.
Oh, sustained is going to maybe bring him over the edge too.
All the hits. Ooh, oh no, that was a knocked 4. Okay, so all 10 hits land. They wound on 3s.
These are -2.
7 hits a wound, and because it's AP -2, a save is impossible for the Jackal. So it's 7 dead instantly.
Got any left?
Just 3 guys, 3 left. Brad has the Ancient and an Assault Terminator looking for blood. They're swinging them hammers now, hitting on 2s.
More dice. He's going to have more sustained. Ooh, no sustained.
Only 1 miss, 6 hits land. Brad will wound on 2s with devastating 6s.
And does a dev wound.
5 successes.
And
That's
those
it.
just go right through.
Wiped.
The MVP becomes the MDP, the most dead player.
That is not. I laughed harder than that was worth. But you know what? I'll take it. And that, math fans, brings us to the end of Kevin's turn 4, where the score is still World Eaters 33, Iron Hand Marines 43.
Kevin is going to get rid of Assassinate for an extra CP. He is defending Stronghold. That is ongoing, so it's on Brad to get to Kevin's home to try to turn that off.
Score is not as close anymore.
No.
But yeah, one thing I did like about this turn, and I hope that at least something happens next turn, that like the MVPs, these Jackals, did more damage than the Forge Fiend.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's fun to see Jackals actually get into the mix, because in most games, if you only have 1 unit, they just like dance on your home field. So it's fun because they have a lot of dice to throw. It's fun to roll dice and to get the jackals up in the mix and kind of just like avenge their dead father in Khârn. It's nice to see.
And meanwhile, the last things we got left, we got a Rhino and the Slaughterbound. So are we going to get another birthday party?
We might get a little birthday party. I can see Slaughterbound taking a Ballistus by the foot and whipping it off the table. So I would love to see that.
Time to see if Kevin's prayers to Khorne are answered with a miracle, or if the world leaders get tabled as we enter the bottom of round 4. First, as expected,
Up comes another Terminator at the start of Brad's turn.
each player gains command point, and Brad will draw secondaries.
He pulls Defend Stronghold, just like Kevin. Area Denial, those are great pulls. I'm not sure there's anything that Kevin can do to stop that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those Terminators are going to be able to open up the Rhino like a Christmas present. First, we have some Battle Shock tests.
So Brad is going to use his once per game stratagem. It's called Insane Bravery. So he doesn't have to take a leadership test to see if those Terminators are going to Battle Shock. He's just going to spend a CP, make sure he gets his primary, and possibly use stratagems if he needs to.
Ooh, failed test on the Ballistus, who's now Battle Shocked. Here's the test for the Eradicator, who passes, coming to his senses. You know, if he lives, he's going to have a great story for his buddies back home by the time he shat himself facing a Demon Prince. Right. Okay, Iron Father's going to heal the other Ballistus back up to full and hand out that +1 to hit as well.
Right.
This is going to be so overkill. Brad's got this in the bag, it seems.
Would it take an act of God to like shake the table down? And...
Yeah, absolutely. Brad would have to faint, hit his head on the table.
Okay, so end of command phase, Brad puts Oath of Moment on the Rhino, and primary scoring kicks in.
Brad is really pulling away here. He just scored 15 on primary. Brings it to Kevin 34, Brad 59.
Now movement phase begins, and Brad's starting back near his expansion, moving the Ballistus and Iron Father both solidly onto objective 4.
So he's lining up that Ballistus to get some shots on the Rhino.
Meanwhile, wait, what's up here? Brad's going to fall back from the Slaughterbound, forcing a desperate escape attempt.
So, which makes sense. I would also just say it on this. So Brad wants to fall back that Ballistus so that the rest of his army has access to shoot the Slaughterbound.
Right.
He's going to take the Desperate Escape test. If he loses the Ballistus, it's not going to lose him the game, but it is going to allow him to get rid of all of Kevin's resources. That Ballistus by itself is not going to kill that thing in combat, and if he doesn't move back, he's not going to be able to kill it this turn.
Okay, so here comes the first Desperate Escape attempt of the game.
He fails his Desperate Escape. Does he explode?
He does not.
So Ballistus goes down as a tactical sacrifice.
Won't even give me the benefit of killing him.
Take the win.
Yeah.
Kevin, you said that you wanted it.
Yeah.
And again, you called it. The field is opened up for so much firepower to come to bear on the Slaughterbound. Starting with the little Eradicator that could.
Yeah, Eradicator putting some line of sight on that Slaughterbound, the Redemptor putting line of sight, the Incursor stepping up to take the point and possibly buff the shooting. Might get a +1 to hit buff.
Just to ensure.
Just to make it guaranteed.
Hey, if you got it, flaunt it. Okay, so as of now, Marines control all objectives except for the World Eater home. And we move into the shoot phase, starting with the Ballistus going into the Rhino.
Into the Oathed Rhino. He'll get some rerolls here.
Las Cannon looking for 2s. Reroll because of Oath. Both attacks hit.
Wounding on 2s, rolling 1s.
Man, the rerolls are working overtime for Brad today.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Hitting on 2s, reroll 1s is pretty good.
Almost guaranteed, basically. Okay, save time. Kevin needs 5s.
Saves 1, takes 1. It's going to be D6 +1 damage.
Rhino's currently at full health with 10 wounds.
3 damage.
It's something.
Damage is damage.
Okay, Rhino down to 7 wounds. Now crack missiles on 2s. Another reroll.
These guns are less cute, but still can chip some damage off him.
2 hits land, 2s to wound again. And welcome back to Reroll City.
Wake the fuck up, Samurai.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, 2 saves. And this time it's Kevin's favorite. 4-up saves. Let's see.
Takes 1.
D6 damage here.
3 more.
That'll knock the Rhino below half health with only 4 wounds remaining. Brad skipping the Ballistus' remaining bolter, shifting to the Incursors now.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot the Incursors, get the buff.
Needs 3s, no rerolls, 5.
Watch the Incursors pop off.
That'd be great. Looking for 5s here.
Nothing.
No wounds, but again, that unit just wants to buff. It's not trying to kill things.
Eradicator wants to kill, though. Needs 3s. 1 hit lands, wounding with 3. Aw, denied. I'd expect the Redemptor to fire, but Brad's moving on. No more shooting, no charges. We're just going straight to the fight phase. The Terminators are now going to try to rip open that Rhino, and let's see. Okay, we're starting with the 2 Terminators plus the Ancient, hitting on 2s with lethals. Rerolling 1s.
Reroll these.
Yep. Ones.
Ooh, nice. So 2 lethals will auto wound, then rolling to wound on 4s. 6s are devs. Oh, there we have it. 2 devastating wounds and 2 damage apiece. Doesn't matter what any other dice say. The Rhino's retired.
Do I blow up?
He does not.
So the party bus stayed long enough to close out round 4. Let's take a look at the scoring.
At the end of Brad's turn, Kevin's defense stronghold does go off, so he will score those 3 points to bring him up to 37 to Brad's 64.
Damn. I love that Kevin is being a really good sport, and I'm enjoying this immensely. But it's definitive. That was a hell of a turn.
That was a decisive turn. Brad has sort of been setting tempo and having a good score lead all game, but scoring 15 primary and 8 secondary, getting 23 in round 4 is just really definitive. He's like, I am winning this game.
Right. Well, they're going to talk out the end, I think, because it's a foregone conclusion. So let's get back to them and see where this lands.
But I'm happy with, what, 2 Terminators left in his characters?
Yeah.
I'll take the moral victory.
Do you care that they died in return?
No. That's what they're supposed to do.
Sounds like the boys are choosing to let the dice decide whether Kevin's going to get tabled. So first, we beg for Popcorn's blessing.
Devastating wounds against infantry and sustained hits. He's either going to push for the Terminators again, or he just wants to take out those Incursors and call it a day.
Secondaries were Sabotage and Mark for Death, but Kevin sends CP to redraw.
Getting rid of Sabotage and picking up Bring It Down, those are just terrible cards.
So Brad marks units that are impossible for Kevin to get to, and Kevin marks the Redemptor to focus on for both secondaries. And so as they wrap up, I just wanted to highlight
The paint. It's incredible. I love the work, especially both of them. I can't say enough, but Kevin has the fabric work and the bone and all sorts of stuff. But you were saying this is a conversion?
Yeah, so this is an Ogroid Therodon, and the Sigmar people can get after me in the comments, but like, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I actually own these models too. They're so cool, but what he did is he converted the weapons on these. So on the other one, it's got like a chain sort of on the end of the axe, and then on this one, he's got I think that's an Exalted 8-bound like chain fist. So there's like actually 40k weaponry on this model. It's a really cool conversion.
That's awesome.
Meanwhile, back at the table, Kevin successfully charged the Redemptor and was not able to bring it down.
Story of my life. All right.
So clearly Kevin's not going into round 2, but he will be there because for round 2 and 3, we have a custom set that was designed.
Oh, that's true. Yes, for the semifinal and the final, we have a custom terrain set that we're going to use, and Kevin helped paint it, and it looks amazing. And if you guys want to see more of Kevin's painted work, check out Fistful of Brushes on Instagram.
Though not on Instagram is Brad's Redemptor, which just took a fistful of dead Slaughterbound on the fight back.
Would you believe if he actually has Deadly Demise?
Yeah, he does.
He has deadly demise.
Ah, dang it.
I just kind of want you to do it.
That's it. Kevin has no units left.
The World Eaters are tabled. And as we await the final score, I also wanted to say that
while Kevin's minis are awesome, so are Brad's. And we'll at least get to see them again on the table, which is great.
Yeah.
But like to talk about right now as we finish out the end scoring, the weathering. You said something about the weathering.
Yeah, the weathering is just phenomenal. It really just makes those miniatures look like they've been fighting on like a muddy desert planet for like millennia.
Well, thankfully, we will get to see these again in the semifinal as Brad moves on. And our final score after adding for paint is 52 to 96.
The Iron Hands take it. We have 3 more games left.
Yeah, 3 more games, a lot of more players to meet. Next week, we're going to have Casey and Honey are playing. We've got Honey's White Scars that are just gorgeous. And we have Casey's Chaos Space Marines. Really cool. He runs a bunch of Demon Engines and Vashtor. I'm really excited to see how that match plays out. So if you guys want to check out that game, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next week.